We are here today, and this will be an absolute pleasure. We're going to talk about some of the many claims that are made in these documentaries that are clearly funded by somebody. And we'll go bit by bit. And before we get started, I want to let everyone know, and this is always my policy, that if you want to make an argument against me, if you have some evidence against me, I'd love for you to present it. The information for Venmo, I'm going to put it at the bottom of the screen. And all you have to do is send in your email address, and I'll return to you the link so that you can come on camera and explain your arguments. All we ask, and this has been the policy for 6 years now, is that you turn on your camera, you refrain from cursing, and you don't use any slurs. And you can present your evidence, hopefully, present your arguments, and we can engage and go back and forth and hopefully establish some truth. I know that no one's going to take the opportunity because there are only lies that people level against me, because the truth of the matter is I have lived an upright life my whole life. And that's why you've never one time seen anyone come out of the woodwork and say, hey, I know this guy. I grew up with this guy. He's not like that, or he's lying. He's making up things. That's never happened one time. You've never seen a woman I've dated or been involved with. You've never seen someone I've grown up with. You've never seen a friend. You've never seen a classmate. No one who's ever known me in real life has ever come out of the woodwork to speak against me. On the contrary, you've seen strangers, people who have faceless YouTube channels, people who use voice distorting technology. You've only seen those people speak against me. And the reason is because I've said something that's hurt them. I've spoken against degeneracy, whether it's the white supremacist movement. I've spoken against sexual deviance. I've spoken against all of the things that might offend some of these persons who hide in the shadows, live in their mother's basement. I recommend that you don't play video games. You be productive instead. I recommend that you don't hurt yourself with alcohol and drugs, which make you a danger to yourself and others. I recommend a great diet and daily exercise. And not only do I recommend those things, I also facilitate that. I have communities around the world that get together regularly for exercise to strive together in the areas of health, wealth, relationships. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one of these documentaries. And this one was particularly interesting because it was so beautifully produced, which indicates that there was a lot of money invested. This particular documentary is clearly funded by someone. I've spoken up against genocide. I've spoken up against, and wherever you find it. And so there are certain regimes that, as you have seen, they sent certain actors and agents to debate me on live stream. They got obliterated. Those regimes are now funding documentaries against me. They've waged various cyber attacks against me, financial attacks as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. And again, as I say, any person who has any bit of evidence, any arguments to make against Marquett Burton, I will bring you on live stream. Send in your email address using Venmo below. The floor is completely open. It always is. And I'm actually inviting your ad hominem attacks. I'm saying, come on live stream, make your ad hominem attack, and I will defend against any attack that you make. You must know that this is unique in this space, and that's how confident I am that you guys are telling 100% lies, and that anything you present I can defend against because I know myself and I have lived in an upright way. When the camera's on, when the camera's off, when I'm in public, when I'm in private, I'm completely predictable, and I always have been since I was a child. So I invite you, I invite your ad hominem attacks, I invite your arguments, I invite your evidence, and again, no one will show. So let's go ahead and get into this. So you guys can tell this documentary is not a documentary, you see, because documentaries are supposed to be a piece of journalism, investigation, and they're supposed to be balanced. You're supposed to document, not give opinion. It's not for you to opine, it's for you to document, give evidence, give arguments, balance things out. And the balance is what represents the truth. But these are hit pieces. And let's take a look at the comments on this one real quick. And obviously this person controls their own comments. I don't control their comments. This was just sent to me last night. And so here they are trying to make a buck, catch us on Spotify. So we know what time it is with this stuff. And let me enlarge this for you guys. They're trying to make a buck off of my name. So catch us on Spotify. Then this person writes, bro, the slave play was a skit. Well, actually, it wasn't a skit. It was a TV show that I've created called Burton Plantation, and very insightful piece of social commentary, which is aimed at, exaggerating certain things and switching races so that you'll pay attention a little more closely, because it's a story we've all heard the bit about slavery. But when you switch the racial dynamic, you start paying attention because now there's a newness to it. And my goal with that was to teach Black folks that the master and the slave is not racially coded. It's based on what one would have submitted to. There's a culture of being a master. There's a culture of being enslaved. And you could have been on either side. And it's designed to also highlight some of the stories that are untold about the enslavement of Blacks in America. One of the most heinous aspects is the abuse that was suffered by the minors and also suffered by the women, the men as well, but the women on a regular basis, as they were, made bed winches, and to show the psychological destruction over time that was created through enslavement. So it's really a brilliant piece of art, but it wasn't well supported. I financed it myself, which was very expensive. I had to fly out actors, pay them salaries, pay for hotels, pay for Ubers and rental cars. It was quite expensive. It wasn't very well supported. And that's largely because I'm suppressed in the algorithm due to the efforts of a certain group of people, which I will not mention. But anyways, so what this guy did is he took clips from a drama that I create, a television drama show, and he tries to represent it as though it's like real life. So very dishonest, and you can see people agree here. Then this individual writes, this is the most diabolical hate video ever made on YouTube. Agree, and that's all these are. And then this one writes, holy hit piece, must be a Destiny fan. And many of the persons who hate are fans of that deviant. And the truth of the matter is, I understand why they are filled with hatred, because I speak against their dirty ways. And most people who engage in sexual perversion, they're too far gone. They're not going to come back to the straight path. And so knowing that I speak against their behavior, they have to hate me. So I get that. I understand it. And I also want you to notice this video has very low amount of views. It's been out an entire month and it only has 4,000 views, right? Now, notice how well produced it is. So it lets you know that someone put money behind this production. The quality of the video editing is excellent. That's why I want to review it with you. The claims are atrociously false, but the video editing is so good. I know that this costs at least $6,000 to produce. The editing is too good, and it's quite long. So anyways, yeah, and here you go. True to my word, this person writes, video editing is top tier, 100%. And it's too good. That's what's concerning. The video editing is too good, considering that this is a small channel and this video is not getting any views as a result. So someone clearly paid to have this person put this hit piece together. This individual writes, the disturbing part about this is that there's no evidence enough for his members to stop believing. Now, here's the interesting part. This is clearly a hater, and he's talking about evidence. Let's watch the documentary and let's see what evidence they give. And, I'm glad he made this comment. In fact, I'm about to give you counter arguments. But remember, in general, in logic, in the Eurocentric view, the burden of proof is on the documentarian. This person's not a documentarian. It's some random person who hides. But the burden of proof is on them. They're making the claims. So they have to provide evidence, which they haven't. But still, I've done the kind thing of providing counter evidence, which I will be presenting shortly. This person writes, keep up the great content. Great content? Your content is tearing people down with false accusations. This individual writes, I was with you until you mentioned Adam 22, a guy who encourages his wife to do adult content. And as a man who is now an adult actor by association, seeks validation and acceptance from OF girls. Adam eventually left the whatever podcast as Marquett exposed him and his standards. Not a good look for Adam. Okay, now here's the funny thing. When you watch this this hit piece, the faceless person, the coward, He tries to portray it as though Adam won the interaction, wherein everyone on earth knows that that's not true. So it's the clear effort to deceive. And one thing I always let you guys know is that no one can ever come against me with the truth. I have lived in an upright way. There are no truths you can tell about me that are negative. It's just the facts. And that's why I don't hide from it. I'm not going to pretend to be humble. I don't need to be humble. I'm going to be honest. There are zero truths you can tell about me that will hurt my reputation. I have lived in an upright way the whole way through. And I'll tell you what, anytime I did something that, in retrospect, I was like, that wasn't the right thing to do. I do the mature, manly thing. I acknowledge it. I'll apologize. I'll correct the action. And those instances have been fairly minor things. In my book, The Black Box, you can read about one such instance. And I say, hey, that was a despicable action. I need to change my life. But anyways, let's carry on. We're going to finish up the comments and we're going to get into this one. This person writes, Saint and Sinner claims he's a millionaire, but let go of his employees because he was, and this is the IQ we're dealing with, they wrote demobilized. I think this person meant to write demonetized, but again, it's the low IQ among us who are engaging in this kind of behavior. And the truth is, as I've said many times, to be stupid is to be evil. Stupidity is evil. So you can, of course, expect people who are mentally inferior to do bad things, harmful things, hateful things. These are the ones who are kind of resigned to a life of crime because they cannot use their brain to achieve or to earn the things they want. And in their inability to get what they want, they try to tear down those who have it. Low IQ is a very dangerous thing. And I do think that these persons should be managed. We should have a program for said type of individuals. Okay. Oh, yeah. And let me get this link. This person writes, outside of Tate's house with a box of chocolates. This is actually true. And this was my greatest marketing scheme that I've ever run. Let me see if I can find the video because this is true. And as you guys can see, I respect and appreciate the truth. So if something's true, I verify it. And in this case, I'm trying to find the video for you. And I think I posted it on my community tab actually recently. So let's take a look there because this is a fact. I did show up to Andrew Tate's home with chocolates. And in fact, you can see the whole video. So let me find it for you. Let's see. So I believe it's on this community tab here. So let's look through and find that video. Pretty sure I posted it here. Andrew Tate, chocolate. Where, oh, where? If anyone in the live chat has the original link, let me know. Here we go. It's right here. So let's see. So this is actually the full video, and I will put this link on I'll put it in the description of the video, or I'll pin it as a comment or something if people want to see the original video. This is true. So this is completely factual. This is one of the factual things that they've referenced. And this one reads, pulling up on Andrew Tate in Romania for an interview, ... uninvited. That's also true. I pulled up completely uninvited. And so it takes you through the whole thing. You have about an hour. So do check it out. Highly recommend it. And I'll remember to share that link so that folks can look at it for themselves. And that is true. That's 100% a fact. So that is the first thing we've seen them say. That is 100% true. And here's the important thing to notice about Marquett Burton. I admit to anything that's true. The first thing I'm going to say is that's true. That's 100% facts. I did that. I said that. That is true. And this is true. I did show up to Andrew Tate's home in Romania uninvited with chocolates. And I posted the video and you can go watch it. And I'm going to link it in the description. So do check it out. That's 100% facts. Okay, carrying on. Next person writes, we live in a time where internet cult is a thing now, sad times. This person has a cat as a photo. I think that says enough about the kind of individual we're talking about. This person writes, I think he's worse than Myron Gaines. Myron Gaines is not even a real person. This is an individual that uses a fake name. You could never compare me to someone who is not man enough to use their own name. This person writes, you compare Marquett to the KKK, a group that took the lives of thousands of Black people. You're a fool. Agree. And this is the kind of exaggeration that they must use. You see, that's how I know that I've lived an upright life. I've helped many people, and it's all documented. It's not all documented, but enough of it is documented for you to know my character. And that's why they have to exaggerate and lie. They must lie, because otherwise, if they tell the truth of what I've done, of who I am, it'll only draw more following, more of a fan base. Because people will say, damn, we've been waiting for someone to come and be a servant of the people as opposed to a parasite on the people. That's why they never show what I actually do. So pay attention. So they compare me to the KKK. I mean, that's very bizarre, especially given that a lot of my effort is to fight against white supremacy and also fight against people not being themselves. I have a 3 Sins Bible. Be yourself, be good to yourself, be good to good people. Be yourself, whether you're Arab, Asian, Black, white, be yourself. Love who you are. Be good to yourself, meaning nourish yourself. Good foods, good exercise. Make sure that you have psychological outlets, and be good to good people. Treat people well. Engage people with respect. Be civil. Honor people according to their merit. This is a very simple statement. I think all of the major religions agree with that. So that's my 3 Sins Bible, 3 Sins Quran, 3 Sins Torah, if you like. This person writes, he's clearly a white supremacist trying to justify white supremacy. Typically, these people won't ever change. Okay. So this person writes, the editing, the bomb. And I agree wholeheartedly. As I said, the editing is excellent. And that's how we know that someone paid a lot of money to put out this hit piece, because the editing is far too good for a channel this small and the very small amount of revenue they're going to make. The amount of money they make on the video will not cover the cost of the editing. And I know I'm in this business. In fact, I'd love to use their editor. This guy's phenomenal. And I'm pretty sure they work for money. So I might be able to hire them. You see my editing improve dramatically. You know what it is. This person writes, do you know what a cult is? And this is a very good point. Most of these people use terms and they don't know the definition of the term. You've seen me many times having discussions with people who believe themselves to be more intelligent than they are. And then I ask them for a simple definition of the words that they are using. And then so often they can't define the word. Let's see. Bro saw a skit about slave and saw race reverse and got mad. And then this. Yeah, I agree 100%. This person writes, so Adam 22 is the hero. Is that it? Dude, that's kind of hard to read that. This person writes, some of this stuff he's doing is just trolling, so I don't think it's fair to use it. The ish he is saying about, okay, it's kind of vulgar. We'll skip that. Okay, so those are all the comments. So as you can see, this is not a very well viewed video. The reason that I'm bringing this video to you is because it's a clear example of an organized, well-financed effort to try to destroy my reputation and limit my influence, because I am one of the few people who are bona fide thinkers and organizers, which means that I can actually get something done. Whereas you have other people who have a much bigger fan base, much bigger. They have a much bigger platform as well, and they have way more money, but they never organize people. Your Nick Fuentes, your Amru Fuddle, your Candace Slowens, they never, even your Kanye West, they never organize people. So they're actually not a threat. They're a part of the system. They're not against the system. So those people will never come under serious sanction because they're about money. So they're easily controlled. So they're no threat at all. Now let's get into the BS here. Now just that start. Boom, 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 boom. And then they have fire on one side. That's cinematically beautiful. Great start.
Every time a cult leader rises, millions of people suffer.
I don't know if that's actually quite accurate. So it's already the lies. Every time a cult leader rises, millions of people suffer. Cults, by definition, are fairly small outfits. And that's what separates a cult from a religion, is really a matter of size and scale. That's all that separates it. So by definition, that can't be true. Millions of people don't suffer. Millions of people maybe suffer when wars occur. And so we already see that this person is very loose and inaccurate with language and has no respect for truth. Oh, yeah. Let me take a pause for the calls. Let me acknowledge some of the folks supporting the work or sending in your comments, questions. Shout out to Joseph. Came in via Venmo, writes tuition. I appreciate you. Good to see you here. I also acknowledge Emmanuel, writes peace of the saints, paying tuition. Shout out to the real ones. I also acknowledge Mr. Williams. He writes peace of the saints, tuition. Thank you for your fearless leadership. Sir, yes, sir. You're welcome, and I thank you for your support. I also acknowledge John. He writes, I just ordered the I identify as a white woman shirt. Thank you. I tried watching one of your haters' videos, and they were basically complaining that you're too confident. I've yet to see a valid critique, and it'll be like that until the day I die. And I always remind people when they come on and they say, oh, I hate you. I say, no, you don't hate me. You hate you. You hate yourself. Because when you see me, you see maybe what you could be if you take out the time to exercise discipline on the self, if you love and nourish the self, if you were kind enough, not nice. I'm not a nice person. I'm a kind person. If you were kind enough to give to the people around you, to the people who matter, then that would reinvest into you and you would be raised up as a result of your good deeds. You look at me and see what you could be if you were a real man. And it's that gap between being a real man and being you, a faceless YouTuber or a nameless hater. That is what gets you mad. It's not me. I'm just a mirror of what you could have been. Shout out to Wayne. He writes, peace of the saints. We knew this day would come. Carry on, Marquett. Oh, absolutely. Shout out to Jose, supporting the work, writes tuition for the live. Thank you, sir. And shout out to the executive here in Florida. Yes, indeedy. Carrying on, looks like we're caught up there. May I also acknowledge, and also thank you to the person whose YouTube channel this is. I appreciate them hosting me for this conversation. And if you haven't subscribed here, please do hit that subscribe button, hit the subscribe and the bell for this person has some great content that's only on this channel. Wishman writes, I saw this a couple days ago. I clicked out of curiosity. First few minutes in, I see that they are using footage from Burton Plantation television show as their evidence. I realized it was just hate propaganda and clicked off. How about that? Shout out to 10. He writes, super chat feature won't let my question go through. Yeah, well, we probably want to stay away from the super chat feature for sure. Use Venmo ideally or something else. He writes, let's try this. I'm a member on the old Sasson page. Will it transfer over automatically? No, sir, it won't. You'll have to cancel it. If you be kind enough to send me an email to me at Marquettism and say, hey, this is my email address on the Sasson. I'd like to cancel there. I'll cancel it for you. And then you can create a fresh account on peaceofthesaints.com. And I encourage all of you to join Peace of the Saints. It's just a much better website that we've optimized for the things that are going to take you to the top. We've optimized it to make it easier for you to connect with saints in your locality. We've optimized it for you to write down your goal, edit it regularly, and track the activities that add up to your goal for your benefit. I want all of you to be successful. Shout out to Chawa, writes, there's another jokester whose entire channel are videos blatantly lying on your name, 100% Skittle Guzzler. You can tell by the voice. Yes, this is a fact. Most of the people who have a problem with me are the people who, they're males who lay down with other males. And frankly, I don't hate you guys, but I don't agree with the promotion of your behavior. That's why I speak against it. But I don't hate you. If I were to encounter you fellas in real life, I would treat you with respect because I'm a respectable and respectful person. So you don't have to be so angry. But no, I will not ever pretend as though what you do is appropriate. So anyways, back to this.
900 people committed a mass suicide at Jonestown in South America. All was behind.
Now, here's the weird thing. In the absence of me having done anything wrong, he's showing other people's misdeeds and crimes, and he's trying to psychologically associate it with my name. You've watched this guy's first 30 seconds to a minute. I'm not even in it. He's talking about white folks and Asian folks who have done some harm to people. And this is an attempt to associate their misdeeds with me. It's just such a bizarre thing.
And the subway attack.
Because my whole work is to destroy followers.
But the cult's legacy carries on.
Take it! Take it! Take it!
So he's shown one Indian dude, one Asian dude, one white dude, and all the misdeeds that they've done. Yet he's not mentioned me at all. But the whole hit piece is about Marquett Burton. And in the absence of me having actually done anything wrong to anyone, you have to make up things. You have to fill it in. Like there's too much emptiness in that space where you put, this is what Marquett did that was wrong. This is what he did that hurt someone. In that empty space, he's putting in the deeds of other people. But also, I want you guys to pay attention the whole way through. Does he say one honest thing about me? Does he say one positive thing about me? Does he give one bit of balance? None at all.
And today, it is in the form of...
So this right here is a scene from a television show called Burton Plantation. We just released episode 3. It's the best of all. It's the most edgy. I recommend that you check it out. Just type in Burton Plantation episode 3. And this is a scene from it. And this is a woman who is a paid actress. So, I paid her more money than she's ever been paid in general, and specifically for acting services. I flew her out from Detroit. She actually decided to drive. So she drove round trip from Detroit. I paid all of her expenses to do that, gas and what have you. We put her up in a hotel, her and her friend as well, put her up in a hotel, paid her cash money for her acting services at a very premium rate, and did everything to give her a good experience and be supporting. And, those are the experiences that people have with me. He treated me respectfully. He paid me very well and gave me a new experience. This is not what you encounter, unfortunately, too often with people in the entertainment industry. They're double dealing. They're dishonest. They don't want to pay you. So what he doesn't realize is that because I'm living in an upright way, everything that you show there's no discredit. It's a merit. It's a merit that I invested my own money to put on a television show. It's a merit that I pay my actresses. I cover their travel. I put them up in hotels, and I pay them a premium rate for their acting services. And there was no scandal. There's no accusation. She came, was respected, and had a good time, and went on about her business. That's a merit. That's me as a man creating in the world. And because I have so many creative products, there's a lot for people to inspect. But here's the kicker. After all of that inspection and study, they find nothing, because there's only the goodness.
This man.
And that's cold. I mean, the editing is so good. We know someone paid top dollar for this hit piece.
Saint and the sinner. A man who wants to build his own town by keeping followers chained. A man who praises the Bible.
Okay, so he said, I want to build my own town. I mean, that'd be really nice, but no, I've actually never thought of something so grand. I do believe that people should be co-located with those who share their values. I think it's quite a common thing. It's very much so the way human society started. That's where the concept of ethnicity comes from. So that's fairly basic. And he said that let's rewind it so we can catch up with the lies. He rolls the lies out fairly quickly with no evidence whatsoever, mind you. He's showing fictional television shows that I've produced. So he's not showing anything real.
And the sinner. A man who wants to build his own town by keeping...
So notice, what's really important is if I said I want to build my own town, you should show Marquett Burton stating, I want to build my own town. Not you saying it. You have primary documents here. So why not show me saying that? I want you to notice this very consistently. This is what these guys do, is they make up lies. I'm a YouTuber. You guys are strangers to me. So the only thing you could know about me would be what I told you. You don't know my family. You don't know my spouse. You don't know anyone that I know in real life. So you would only get information based on what I tell you, or you'd have to present some documentation. So notice consistently, they don't show any documentation, also known as evidence. They also don't show me saying any of these things. So keep paying attention.
Followers chained. A
So I want to keep my followers chained. Never heard me say that. That's very bizarre.
man who praises the Bible.
Said I praise the Bible. Is that a bad thing? I praise the Bible. First off, I don't know that that's the right way to describe that. I've certainly done a live Bible reading, several of them, tried to read the Bible from cover to cover on live stream. I've also done the same thing with the Quran and, of course, with the Torah, as the Torah is a part of the Bible. And I've spoken well of all of the holy books because they all contain measures of truth, and in some cases, they're beautifully written. So what we observe is that this person's lying. They're telling half-truths, and they're presenting zero evidence. And mind you, as we go through, you should be asking yourself, where are all the haters at? Where are they? Where are the haters? Why aren't they trying to come on live stream? Why aren't they trying to explain the crimes? Why aren't they trying to give the evidence? Why are they always absent? Very strange.
But sits among OF girls like Andrew Tate.
Now, here's the funny thing. He says, I sit among OF girls, but he's not showing my show. My show is 99.9% of the time a lecture show, kind of like this. I'm giving information to the intelligentsia. I'm describing geopolitical happenings. My show is not an OF girl show. So when he says this, you'll notice I was a guest on Fresh and Fit. That's their show. I'm just a guest. I was a guest on the Whatever podcast, and that was a setup, mind you. That was a show that they did not describe it to me as that. They described it that it would be a debate, and then I show up and there's these characters there. So he's trying to suggest that this is my platform, being around OF girls, when he's using clips from me being a guest on other people's platform, when everyone knows that my show is based on high level and intellectual breakdowns. Curious.
Tate. A man who treats women like they should not exist in the world.
If a man tells you to do something, I don't care what he said. If you opened your legs up to him, do what he said.
And again, that's beautiful editing on his part. And I stand by 100% of what I said. If you are a female and you choose to have intercourse with a man, so you're in a relationship with him, sleeping with him, he is your leader. Do what he has asked of you. If you cannot or will not do what he asks of you, then exit the relationship, because that is not the proper way it should proceed. So I stand on that 100% till the day I die.
Mr. Burton.
Shut your mouth.
Getting that grind on. And this is really an important clip here, and it underscores the importance of my work. So as you guys might know, I taught in Baltimore, Maryland. I taught pretty much 99.9% Black kids in a very poor, violent ghetto. I also founded a nonprofit while I was there in Baltimore, Maryland, observing some of the horrible things happening to the children there. And one of the things that ails many communities, even increasingly middle and upper class communities, is illegitimate children. And illegitimate children come from people not using protection. This particular video is not showing the title of it. It's actually called How to Avoid Unwanted Pregnancies. And so myself, being a great teacher, understanding that you need edutainment, it's a video about how to make sure that you use condoms, protection, while engaging in intercourse, because a lot of times guys don't use it because they're trying to keep the flow, so the girl doesn't have time to think and say, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this today, or I don't want to do this right now. And so I was demonstrating a way to fetch the condom and keep the flow going so that the guy can achieve his goal without doing it irresponsibly. So the video is actually called How to Avoid Unwanted Pregnancies. And this underscores the nature of the content that I put out. I have a lot of videos that are about teaching the people the most valuable things, many of them circled around character education that your family should have taught you, that your school should have taught you, things that are not ever going to go viral, things that are never going to be popular on YouTube, but they're critical to you living a happy, healthy life. And so strangely, he doesn't want to tell you what the video was about, doesn't want to tell you the title of the video. And again, when they show these things, it just points to my merit. There are 0 YouTubers making it an instructional video on how to have safe, protected sex. Come on now. Carrying on.
And that grind on, you know, just getting her warmed up.
And if a follower tries to escape his prison,
that was bizarre. So first off, you'd have to describe the prison. What are you talking about? What prison? Prisons are physical places. So what prison are you referring to? And then number 2, did you just show a gunshot? So are you suggesting that I've taken the lives of some people? Like, really? I mean, just this is so extreme. And, you know, it's so unrealistic that I was like, man, can anyone believe this? Because most of the lies he's sharing, a simple Google search will reveal the truth. But for example, there's a young lady that had messaged me. She's from the UK, Black woman. She's a cleaner by, I guess, trade, and good looking lady. And she said, you know, hey, I was initially interested. I'm not interested anymore because I've seen some, I forget how she termed it, but essentially I've seen some hit pieces on you. And she says, where there is smoke, there's fire. And I think generally that's true. Where there is smoke, there's fire. Generally, on average, I think that's true, but you're dealing with someone who's in the public eye. So I'm not an everyday person. So, you know, things that might apply to everyday people won't apply because my life and my positioning is different. So I was asking myself about things like this. They just showed me on Burton Plantation television show shooting someone. And then he suggested that I've shot people in real life because they wouldn't stay within some prison he described. And I thought, who would believe this kind of stuff? But this young lady, apparently, it impacts her. And I think that, unfortunately, when you have people who are either not terribly bright, or you have people who are misbehaving in the ways that I condemn, then they want to believe it. Some of them are low IQ, so they're easily influenced. And then others, they want to believe it. Because if I say that it's not right for a male to lay with a male, and this is what you do, then you want to believe bad things about me, even though they're exaggerated, or not even exaggerated, because exaggeration starts with the truth. These things are completely ludicrous. I mean, you just showed me shooting someone with the suggestion that I've done this to people who try to escape my prison. Bizarre. Shout out to Dominic. He writes, Peace of the Saints, tuition. Can you do live reviewing the polar can you do a live reviewing the polar opposite? I'm curious how they're getting more views for hate when this is getting less for pushing truths. Well, that is why I do my work, because it turns out that the good peoples of the earth are the minority by far. And you can look inside the nature of humankind and you'll find that hatred and negativity are far stronger driving forces. And that's why I always tell you guys that to compete with devils, to compete with the wicked, we must really triple down. Don't double down, triple down, because the haters will go on 30 different videos and they'll cut and paste their hateful comments. But do the people who love the work, do the people who benefit from the work, will they go on 20 different videos of other people and cut and paste something positive or good? Probably not. You know, hate is just so much more powerful than love. And again, these are the kind of things that I teach you about in the Book of Dark Truths. And that's why I say it's so important for the good peoples of the earth to stick together. I also acknowledge Akash. He writes, quote, stay away from broke and ugly people, end quote. MDB, that never fails. I'm trying to tell you. You know they're ugly. That's why they have faceless YouTube channels. I don't blame them. Shout out to Dominic. He writes, I was there, all lies, assassin or nothing. Yes, indeed. He was there at the shooting of Burton Plantation. It was a great value add. Miles writes, Peace of the Saints, Mr. Burton. Do you want us to flag the video? Definitely do not leave comments. I appreciate you asking that. So may God definitely do not leave comments. So let me enlarge this, make sure you guys can see. So these kinds of videos, I think, are very much so worth, and I think the best one is this bullying one. So yes, this is the very best way to do it. And I would encourage everyone to take out your time on all of these videos, not only this one, but on all of them, uh, to uh, to put in that flag, which is factual. And I thank you for that question. I really do appreciate it because, as I said, you know, one thing I noticed really quickly is I would always let people know, just like, hey, I've sent out more than $600,000 to followers, to you guys, 600,000 to you guys. And I would notice people weren't like, oh my God, that's crazy. Oh my God, you're the GOAT. I was like, that's kind of weird. And I realized that there's jealousy. Like the people who didn't get that money, they're kind of like, oh, well, screw the people who did get it. And the people who did get it don't appreciate it maybe as much as they should because people are entitled. And it's almost weird. It's like, I'm a stranger. Many of you, I've sent you money. I've never met you. And most importantly, you've never done anything for me. I sent that to you out of like free love, which doesn't really exist in the real world. And so I noticed like your good deeds never are recognized at the appropriate level. I mean, I've sent well over $500,000 to strangers. Your parents haven't even done that. So the good deeds are not acknowledged at the appropriate level. And then there are no bad deeds, but people create them and then want to propagate lies. I was like, this is a sick world. So it just lets you know at some level, like, is it even worth it, me bending over backwards, sending out so much money, doing so much for people when like 9 out of 9, they don't even like appreciate it at the appropriate level? But, you know, that's the world that we're in. Let me acknowledge some of the folks supporting the work, though. The gentleman further writes, and I really thank you. Shout out to Miles, because this is love. And, you know, when you're under attack, and I'm under far more attack than even you know, most of it I don't speak about publicly, but I appreciate him stepping up to fight with me. Miles writes, should we flag the video and leave comments under the video? No, on these videos, they're not viewed by anyone. Leaving a comment will put it in your algorithm, which will put more trash in your algorithm. And also it'll push it out. So no comments, just flag it and thumbs down. He writes, or don't even thumbs down, just flag it. He writes, as well as other similar videos. Absolutely. He writes, this is an organized smear campaign. Also, would you want us to send you any videos similar to this one? No. And this is really important. This is life advice for you guys. Do not ever let the evil people in the world achieve their mission. Their mission is to distract you from your divine goals. Their mission is to get you off track, focused on them, fighting them, because they don't have any goals except to do evil, to harm, to hurt. You might be trying to open up a school. You might be trying to build a training center to teach people how to live well. You might be trying to organize folks for a potluck this Saturday. You are doing things that add to the world. They grow. But if you take out too much time to defend against psychopaths, losers, and liars, then you won't be doing what you're supposed to be doing, what makes you happy and what makes the world better. So no, don't send me this rubbish. Please don't. It's absolutely unnecessary. And thank you for asking that. May I also acknowledge via PayPal, shout out to Gwensley. He writes, this is such mediocre propaganda that it looks like a ludicrous parody. Peace of the Saints. It's so extreme, right? It's so extreme and so extremely dishonest. Shout out to Mr. Chambliss. He writes, interesting that this creator, who is probably a part of a race who claim they are very high IQ and high morals, completely ripped this video off of the other video. Yeah, I mean, it makes money. But more importantly, and when I say it makes money, they're not making money from the ad rev because no one's watching these. They're making money from the persons that are paying them to make these hit pieces, from the organizations that are paying them to make the hit pieces. That's who they're making the money from. There are people that are scared of Marquett Burton because there is no one else that can orate the way I can orate. And if you look at history, the most powerful leaders are the orators. Most of them don't have their own ideology and they don't have the ability to organize. When you wrap that into one person, it's a dangerous figure. And that is why I'm under attack. Shout out to Caleb. He writes, it is absurd how people can shun you for preaching wealth, health, and relationships while they promote degeneracy to the masses. For what the cowards, haters are not willing to say, thank you, Mr. Burton. I appreciate that. Shout out to Caleb supporting the work. Also, shout out to Ernest, came in using the Stripe link, as did Mr. Tabit. Good to see you again, both of you. Carrying on. Is this the one?
God forgive your soul.
Marquett Burton is like a poisonous gas on you.
Now, here's the funny thing. And again, look at the quality of the editing. The editing is so very good. To get someone to edit a video at such a high quality, a video this long, is going to cost you thousands of dollars. There's just no doubt about it. And then here's the funny thing. They had, and not only, and check this part out too, this is really important. Not only did they do excellent editing, they also had to go fish through hours and hours of my content to put it in the video. So it was really a large project, a huge project. Right, and that's my point. He says he did all that research and still can't pronounce your name correctly. Well, the name may be mispronounced because we know he's heard my name because he's watched hours and hours of my content. The name may be mispronounced, either A, because it's an AI voice, because a person is trying to hide their identity, or B, they're doing it on purpose to be disrespectful, to pretend they don't know me, when we see that they're clearly obsessed, like clearly obsessed.
YouTube.
The idea that Malcolm X died as a selfish traitor.
Who is consuming viewers under different names of his cult.
And if you defy me, you defy not me. You defy him. You defy God.
This video is going to reveal his scams.
Now, this is important, and you guys have seen this so many times, and this only lets you know the evil, psychotic nature of these internet personalities. And this is, again, this is how you know, I gotta be the greatest. I gotta be the greatest. Everyone only has one insult. Marquette, you did a scam. And then I say, well, what's the scam? Please explain it. Give me the evidence. And they never can. So what they're doing is they're trying to give life to a lie. They're trying to give life to a lie. Where did the lie come from? There was a Skittle guzzling YouTuber who I exposed for doing an NFT scam. I told him face to face on a live stream, you are a scammer. You did an NFT scam. Then what did he do? He turned around. He's like, you're an NFT scammer. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And then other people tried to pick that up and run with it. And I've even debunked it many times. But I did a session just like this with Seth, my engineer, aerospace engineer, a man of great means and reputation in the tech business. He was at my conference where we taught about NFTs, crypto, and all the technology and ethics involved in it. And that came out long before anyone talked about NFTs because my background is in the software business. And I had the floor open. I said, anyone who believes that I've ever in life had a scam of any nature, in fact, had a dirty business dealing. I don't care if your claim is, hey, I was selling Snicker bars in front of the mall and it was $2 and you gave me $1.50. Anything where I've been less than honest, transparent in business, please come forward. No one came forward. Not one single person. No one was in the comments, because the key is that they need the lie. The lie has to persist. So when there's a chance for the truth, they're hiding. Just like right now, they're hiding. You don't even see a single person in the comments saying anything negative. When have you ever seen that? That's because they know the floor is open. That's because they know the moment they say something crazy in the comments, you're going to say, hey, go on live stream. And they don't want to show up. Come on. Come on. Said, could this video be made by Red Pill people? One person said it's made by, funded by Myron. Let's take a look at this.
Why did you do it?
And here's the important thing is they say they're going to reveal the scam. So pay attention, because reveal, that means we need evidence, not statements. We need evidence.
NFT scam on your fans for like $400.
Okay, now, and also pay attention. Listen very closely. He said you did an NFT scam on your fans for how much? Let's see, how much?
Why did you do an NFT scam on your fans for like $400?
He said you did an NFT scam on your fans for, quote, like $400. That doesn't even sound reasonable. It doesn't sound realistic. $400. Is that worth scamming? $400. Is that worth a scam? $400. It's not sensible. It doesn't even make it's not even reasonable. These are the things that the devils use. And I think it's in their emotionalism, their brain shuts off. But what you'll also notice is that one person says it was $400. One person says it was $200. Another person said it was $300. And one person says it's $2,000. The numbers keep changing. But here's the kicker. Consistently, they say it's an amount of money that's an irrelevant amount of money. It's an irrelevant amount. You have to ask yourself, okay, if Marquett went to the University of California, Berkeley, did a 4-year degree in 3 years. If Marquett went to the Johns Hopkins University, took a master's, then went into business, does $400 have meaning to him? Does $2,000 have meaning? And if it did have meaning, could I not earn it? And more importantly, why would I scam it? Like, scamming is for people who can't get money in legitimate ways. I have the resume of the person who gets the money. I have 2 degrees from top 20 universities, not in America, top 20 on the planet Earth, top 20 in the world. So why is it that the guy who has the credentials, who has the degrees, who has the verified accomplishments and IQ, why would that guy scam? I'm a part of the class of people who earn the big bucks. I'm not a part of the class of the lumping class who needs to scam small amount. It doesn't even make sense. So you have to ask yourself, like, why would anyone even think that makes sense? But anyways, and by the way, please confirm that there is good audio. If you ever see someone in the comments saying things that are untrue, please correct it. We sometimes have people who will go in the audience and they'll say crazy things to try to mess up the stream. Shout out to Ricardo. He writes, carry on. I need you continuing with this pristine and hard entertaining work. Sir, yes, sir. And shout out to Ricardo. I had the pleasure of meeting Ricardo. Shout out to your wife. I remember it like it was yesterday. And Bridget's a huge fan of yours. And that's one of the beautiful things about my movement. I know all of my people. I know all of my people because I don't think I'm a celebrity. I don't try to behave like a celebrity. Clearly, I'm famous. People are making documentaries. But I deal with my people on the basis of man to man, human to human. And so unlike all these folks who are out here trying to get a bag, and they are, I am building a real community. And so many people have been with me for over half a decade. And what that lets you know is that I'm delivering the goods on a consistent basis, and there's no double dealing, there's no lies, there's no deception. It's just straightforward, honest business. That's all it is.
Silly checkmate. This guy's a scammer.
Right. And so he said, you did an NFT scam for $400. Checkmate. Checkmate. This is so brainless. And the level of foolishness is I could have just said the same thing. You did an NFT scam for $8,000. Checkmate. Well, neither of us have proved anything. And that's the challenge when we have too many low IQ people on the planet Earth. They're easily fooled.
His ultimate objective.
You were in my land. Usually I would have you taken out, have your whole family murdered.
And how he's recreating the haunting memories of the.
Okay, so at this part, it has to be bizarre to you. Is it bizarre to you? Because it's bizarre to me. They said, this guy states that I'm recreating haunting memories, and then he starts to show white supremacists. If this is not the most nonsensical comparison, he's really trying to scare people. But it's bizarre because these are white supremacists. I'm black. These are hooded people. My face is shown. I'm noticing an irony. You're showing white men who are hiding their face. Your voice is a white man's voice, and you're hiding your face. Isn't that the pot calling the kettle black? So this is the bizarre nature of what they're trying to do. And again, they're not showing imagery of me ever one time doing anything wrong, or showing anyone who has ever known me, observed me, engaged me, and has anything bad to say. They're not showing that because that doesn't exist. They're showing imagery of the Klan. Word. Bizarre. It's utterly psychotic, these people. But again, this is the propaganda effort, and it has to be lies. Shout out to Omar. He writes, "Peace of Saints, Marquette. It infuriates me when I see these hit pieces. By the time the revolution pops off, I'll be by your side putting heads on spikes. You're doing God's work. God bless you. All love from me." I appreciate that. And shout out to those who are really a part of this thing of ours. And the time will come. Shout out to Mr. Chambliss. He writes, "Even people without melanin can't handle being themselves. I spent more than a few seconds thinking about blonde hair, but since you talked about it, I spent more time noticing and remembering about 90% of all blonde hair I've seen has actually been from bleaching." 100%. 100%. I also acknowledge Andre. He writes, "Tuition for the truth. I appreciate you." Shout out to the real ones. I also acknowledge Michelle. She writes, "I think you are amazing and I'm rooting for your success. Have you considered the idea that the Zionists who have resources would use intel/ops to monitor and assassinate your character?" Have I considered it? I'm certain of it. I'm absolutely 100% certain of it, that they are waging war against me in many theaters: digital warfare, cyber warfare, financial war, character assassination, and much else. I'm going through many trials and tribulations that I don't speak of because I'm not a complainer. I'm certain that they are working against me. I'm not guessing, I'm certain, because some of the attacks, and I may do a separate video on it, but some of them are so sophisticated and coordinated that it would only be a group of people that are well-resourced and intelligent. It's the only possibility. She writes, "You are a threat to how they're perceived, and this is critical in terms of mind control of the masses." Absolutely. The videos that I did arguing against those IDF soldiers, those videos have done in excess of 64 million views, and that was just on my platforms. That does not include reshares, and that is dangerous. I mean, I was in the airport leaving Texas, actually, and a brother in TSA came from around the back where they look at the videos and stuff, came from around the back. He said, "Hey, can I take a picture with you?" And I'm thinking, he knows the saint in the center. And I was like, "A piece of the saints." He was like, "Yeah, assalamu alaikum. I appreciate you speaking up on behalf of Palestine. I know it's cost you a lot." He said, "But, my brothers in Pakistan have sent me your videos. That's how I learned about you. And I want to take a picture with you." And so he doesn't know anything about the saint in the center. He doesn't know anything about the ism. He just knows about my stances against the violence that's been perpetrated against children and women and innocent people. And so, yes, it is very dangerous, this path that I am on. So, yeah, for sure. Shout out to Wayne. He writes, "The low IQ can't comprehend how you go from poor to wealthy. So they call it scamming," that part. And it makes sense when you really think about it, because if they acknowledge that it can be done, you can go from poor to wealthy, you can leave an American ghetto and get into the upper class, then they have to acknowledge that they could do it. And the reason they didn't do it is because something about them is insufficient. And that hurts. They don't want to acknowledge that. So you got to lie. You got to lie. He writes, "Stupidity is evil, and I'm starting to understand this more as time goes on." 100%. And that's what I try to do, is to put things into pithy language, big truths into pithy language, that it's easy to understand the world that we're in, which can sometimes be confusing. Shout out to Brad. He writes, "While watching your stream, the web page randomly shut down and I had to refresh. Curious, as I'm in the most developed country in the world with 1,000 megabytes internet speed." Yeah, it is. There's a lot of curious things that happen. Shout out to Jacqueline supporting the work. Shout out to the ladies showing up supporting. I really appreciate you. It really does mean a lot, especially because I want everyone to know that there will come a time wherein they're going to try to put one of these sexual cases on your boy. They're going to try to say that I'm a hater of women and abuser of women. So they'll either say that he was beating a woman or he was taking advantage of a woman. It's going, because this is what they do. This is one of their go-to strategies. Or they'll try to say, I don't know if they're going to say that, but they might try to say it's a minor. This is one of their strategies, is to throw so much dirt on your name that you can't recover from it. to throw something so heinous on your name that you can never get clean again. You see what I'm saying? So, but me, I always stay sharp. You dig? I stay super sharp. And that's why when I deal with women, I try to deal with upright women. I'm very clear with them. But still, you're going to have people who are going to lie. Might be a woman I never met my whole life. Never seen her my whole life. They didn't AI'd me into a photo with her. You did? Who knows? But there's no doubt that they will have these tricks up their sleeve. And I've warned you from the very beginning because I always started this on a mission. Always here on a mission. I also remind you guys, I don't have any mental health issues whatsoever. I'm a happy, healthy man. I have no physical health issues whatsoever. I've never drank a drop of alcohol. I've never smoked a cigarette, a hookah, a vape, a cigar, anything like that. So if you ever hear that, oh, this guy's high on fill in the blank, I'm not high unless someone injected me with something. You ever hear, oh, this guy is drunk and he's doing... I've never tasted alcohol. I don't even know what... I've never tasted coffee. That's how much I stay away from intoxicants. I never tasted coffee. I don't drink soda. But here, check this out, guys. Do you remember when I was in Vegas leaving my office at 11 p.m. and I was driving to my home and they arrested me and took me to jail the night before Christmas? So I spent Christmas in jail. Why, you might ask? For DUI. DUI, Marquett, you don't drink alcohol. How could you ever have a DUI case? And when the coppers were arresting me, I was telling them, you have body cam on. How can you claim it's a DUI? I'm clearly coherent. I'm not stuttering or stumbling over my speech. My body, I'm in full control of it. This is not going to go well when this goes to court, my friend. Then they come back and say, oh, you weren't drunk. You were high. You were on drugs. And then all the YouTubers, they started picking up the story. And you should ask yourself, Marquett, you're not that famous. You're not that famous. How did the YouTubers get a hold of that? That's kind of weird. How'd they find out about that? Then all the YouTubers, and mind you, I didn't even have a case, meaning it wasn't going to trial. All the YouTubers, Marquett, the saint, the sinner, he's busted, drunk driving. Then what happens? They do a blood draw. Blood draw comes back clean, no alcohol, no drugs, nothing. Then you got to say, well, if there was nothing in his system, how did it escalate? One, why'd you pull him over? Because you claimed he was driving erratically because he was drunk. But if he wasn't drunk, then he probably wasn't driving erratically. And if he wasn't drunk, how come you couldn't figure that out when you pulled him over? And it just happened to be you put him in jail the day of Christmas. That's kind of like one of the worst times to be in jail. Seems really coordinated. Come on. Come on, guys. I mean, none of this should make sense to anybody. Oh, and another funny thing is all the dishonest YouTubers, when they're like, see, I told you this guy's just like all of us. He's just like any other guy. No, I'm nothing like you. I'm better than you. I'm superior to you. That's just the truth. That's not cockiness. That's the facts. Those are the facts. And he just like us. See, he drunk driving. Matter of fact, he worse than us. And then when the truth came out, no, the saint is the saint. He was sober. He wasn't on any drug. He wasn't on any alcohol. And what's more is it was a Friday night in Las Vegas. The man has all the money you would need to have a good time in any way related to vice. He could pay women to do whatever he wants, tons of them. Or he could go out and use his natural charm and good looks. Or he could leverage his suites on the Las Vegas Strip. Or he could leverage this two-tone Maybach. Or this i8. Or this Rolls Royce. He could be out partying. It was a Friday night in Las Vegas. But instead, he had just finished teaching a course. He was driving to his house in the suburbs after teaching a course, working from first thing in the morning before sunup, worked all the way to 11 p.m., and then he was driving home to his house. And there's no traffic. There's no need to speed. I don't live that far from the Strip. So that's the life of an upright conservative. I don't even want to use the term conservative because these conservatives are weird. Shout out to Trump and Scott Bessent. But that's the life of an upright man living in a saintly way. I wasn't with a slore. I wasn't intoxicated. I wasn't coming from the club. I was coming from my office, going to my house completely sober after a hard day of work. And that's what they do. Come on now. Come on now. I also acknowledge Quinsley. He writes, it is time. I've not been able to identify that. Shout out to Parth, writes, tuition, peace to the saints, peace of the saints, the big homie. I appreciate you. Good to see you. I trust all is well with you. Got to get some updates on some of the things we had discussed at the last drip trip. May I also, okay, I think we're caught up there. Appreciate those of you who have supported. Carrying on.
Abandoned cults.
Peace to the saints.
Peace to the saints.
When you're in the sun and I'm lost.
And I want you guys to also notice when they show things that are supposed to visualize the cult, they're showing actual cults. They're not showing me. They're not showing anyone that's a part of our organization. Because why? And we're very transparent. I am a live streamer. What are we doing? We're exercising, going on a run, health. We're boxing, teaching a course on entrepreneurship, teaching a course on software, teaching a course on how to have happy, healthy relationships. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look culty enough. So they have to go and find this footage. So they're using stock footage unrelated to me in an effort to try to misrepresent me. I mean, this is truly diabolical. This is truly diabolical.
Lost in the shade.
Like, what does this have to do with me, these images? It's bizarre. There you go.
When a man considers himself above God.
Now, here's an important one. So he says a man considers himself above God. You have to substantiate things like that. The best way to substantiate that would be to show me saying that. Whereas you'll never hear me say something like that because that's outrageous. But again, when he makes the claim, he's saying that I said it. Well, I'm a YouTuber, which means there's video evidence of everything that I say and do. So where is it? Like, where is the evidence of me saying that? Okay, so he's showing some pictures. Okay, so let's hear the part about Marquett's above God.
When a man considers himself above God,
you can.
Okay, now let's hear the evidence.
Never do that. I'm the big homie.
He becomes arrogant.
Where's the part about I'm above God?
You look at my head, it's beautiful, bald, brown hair.
As well as dangerous for the society.
Okay, so he never substantiated that. He's just claiming it. Now, here's the funny part. Now he's showing me testing out a silencer. So he's really trying to position like, this guy's dangerous. Okay. Now, I'm on my own property, mind you, which is why I encourage people to live on the land. You have freedom, a better measure of it.
And Marquett Burton
He keeps on saying that they are wrong on purpose. These people are sick.
Exploited every opportunity to prove.
And I also want you guys to know that they think that they're maybe being insulting or something like that. I don't take any insult to it because it's a function of low IQ that you can't notice small differences or details or nuance because you're intellectually limited. And also the idea that you're a documentarian and you're documenting a person, but you can't pronounce their name. How believable of a person are you? You're not very believable. You're giving us evidence about this person. You've done your research, but you can't pronounce their name. That's the most fundamental piece of information anyone will ever have about another person. You know, when I get on the elevator, I might say, oh, hey, how you doing? Okay, John, nice to meet you, John. So that's the first piece of information you get about someone. So the fact that they can't get that right, could we really trust them to get anything else right? Of course not. Of course not. Shout out to Melvin. He writes, peace to the Saints tuition. I would like to donate to the training center. I appreciate that. And thank you. And for those who do want to support the training center, I think the link is in the description of the video. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. And the training center, for those who don't know, it's a center organized around making sure that as we have a hyper focus on the youth, boys, girls, teaching the boys what they need to know to be all of the things they're expected to be, so that they reach maturation and that they understand business at an early age so they have a chance to be as successful as they need to be. To teach females how to grow into women who can live in the true purpose of a female, which is to have a great family and to be an excellent wife, mother. And that requires a skill set. A lot of females don't have that skill set. Hell, a lot of males don't have the skill set of being a man. And so we teach that. We also, of course, plan to teach for the adults as well. But our focus is, of course, on the youth first and foremost. And thank you for that. And if the link is not in the description, someone do let me know, or one of the mods can post it.
Of what he's become.
And if you defy me, you defy not me. You defy him. You defy God.
Just like cult leader Jim Jones, who...
Okay, now, here's the weird thing. They just showed me, again, this is from Burton Plantation. By the way, do check out episode 3 so you can see where they're pulling the content from. So he's showing an episode from a TV drama show, a fictional show, where I'm an actor. I'm operating as an actor. They're showing that, pretending as though it's some spooky evidence. And just the fact that you would get something that we know is fictional and then try to represent it as real is the dishonesty. And that's how you know Marquett clearly has done nothing wrong, because they have to go find all this fake stuff. If there was something wrong, they'd present it. We're waiting. We're already, half a quarter done with this. Where's the real stuff? Where's the juicy stuff? And then here's the creepy thing. They go from a fictional show where I'm an actor, and then they start comparing me to a dude named Jim Jones, who was responsible for the fate of many people. Like, what? Like, this dude is responsible for many people, adults, women, children, losing their lives. How can you compare me to that? That's not even sensible. This guy has countless bodies. I have 0 bodies. Like this, he's white, I'm black. He's a Christian preacher, I'm not. He was in a foreign country, I'm in America. Like, what is the compare? Like, where is the similarity? It doesn't exist. He's a bisexual, I'm a heterosexual. Like, there's no comparative basis, except that you're trying to lie.
You defy him. You defy God.
Just like cult leader Jim Jones, who poisoned 900...
Now, here's the important thing. He said, just like, meaning similar to, the same as. So just like. So are you suggesting that I've poisoned 900 people and then I'm sitting here in a high rise in Miami and no one's coming to get me for that? You suggest, like, what? It's not even reasonable, this stuff. And just think about the level of hate and psychosis to where you're so emotional and angry that you think intelligent people are going to listen to this and believe you.
9 followers by calling himself God.
Now, here's an important piece. Listen, he said by calling himself God.
He is God. So how do you feel when you're preaching?
Followers by calling himself God.
Himself God.
Sin is God. So how do you feel when you're preaching this? Never do I feel so good. When I say
So that guy did call himself God. Where's the video clip of me calling myself God? Where is that video clip? I'm a YouTuber. Everything I do is on video, but where's the clip?
I'm God, then I feel strength well up within my soul.
All the young girls who have not known the man by sleeping with him, keep them alive.
In the name of faith, he considers people not as an integral part of the society, but as slaves.
Now look at the quality of the editing, though. The storyline is obviously going to be bad because you're trying to say bad things about someone who doesn't do bad things. So of course the storyline is going to be choppy because there's too much invention. But the video editing is damn good. I mean, these people have paid good money. Look at the video editing.
Not known the man by sleeping with him, keep them alive.
In the name of faith, he considers people not
Bro,
as an
editing
part
is
of the
strong.
society, but as slaves born to serve him.
Master, she's just a child.
She's a slave.
And for him, those slaves could exist in a world where there are no rules and regulations, a place that he calls Burton
This guy is a nut.
Plantation. The same strategy that was followed.
Now, this is crazy too. And he's trying his best to associate me with an evil cult leader. So now he went from Burton Plantation. All of a sudden, we're back to the stock footage of Jim Jones. It's like, word. Like, this is propaganda if I ever saw propaganda.
By Jim Jones, where he executed his followers. He called it Jonestown. Now, to express his actual intent, Burton even published this.
Now, this is interesting. He's kind of messing up here in his editing because look, you can see this.
Now, to express it
says TV show. I'm going to enlarge that for you. It reads TV show. TV show. So, come on. TV show. It says TV show. It literally says TV show. What are we talking about here? That's like going to Steven Spielberg and saying, I saw your movie. You're a killer. That's like going to Denzel Washington, like I saw you in Training Day. You're a gangster cop, thug. It's like, no, this is a television show. It's a movie. Calm down. Shout out to Eric. He writes, peace to the saints. People actually believe a $400 scam can fund your lifestyle. These are low quality people who are offended by the truth you speak. That's the most beautiful way it can be put. These are low quality people who are offended by the truth I speak. You ain't lying. I mean, the idea that even a $2,000 scam, even a $200,000 scam, the idea that it can fund the things that I do on a regular basis and I've been doing for 10 years is just not even reasonable. It's just utter silliness. But we're going to go by bit. We're going to break down every falsehood. So stay tuned and pay attention and share any comments, questions, tithe tuitions using the information below. And again, I'm just like, where are the haters at? Like, why are they absent?
His actual intent, Burton even published this video on his channel, Burton Plantation TV Show, Episode 1. Moreover, one viewer even donated $99 to support his work, while others loved the way Burton used religion to express his power. Loved the way religion is used to justify their actions as well as play.
And it's so strange how this guy, and I'm going to enlarge that for you, this fella is actually lying. The comment, notice this is sad. The comment reads, love the way religion is used to justify their actions. Their actions, meaning the enslavers, the white Christian enslavers who actually committed the atrocities. Whereas the narrator of this documentary is claiming that the commenter is saying that religion justifies my power. So he's lying. He's like blatantly lying and misinterpreting on purpose. Only low IQ people can be persuaded by this. But here's a challenge. There are more, here, life is a triangle. There are more low IQ people than there are high IQ people.
Placed them in a position of power. Shows just how insidious they truly were. Great work. However, this level of acceptance has given him more power to consider himself above all.
You making a documentary about this? Extraordinary.
Years back,
like I'm famous. I need to be more cocky because I'm too famous.
His overconfidence helped in discovering one of the disturbing scams on YouTube.
Check. Now remember, he already mentioned the scam but never explained it. Let's see if he explains it this time. So he's been talking scam. We've still yet to see one shred of evidence of anything, actually. Not one claim has been substantiated by this guy making a documentary. Not one single claim. And magically, there's 0 haters in the live chat right now. Why is that?
Mate, this guy's a scammer.
Okay, what's the scam? What is the scam? What is the scam? I'm waiting.
On one of his YouTube channels called the...
I think we're about to get there. I think we're... In mind you, I haven't had time to watch this, so I'm watching this for the first time with you guys. So let's see what the scam is.
Saint and the Sinner.
Okay.
He launched a cryptocurrency coin through...
Okay, he said, I launched a cryptocurrency coin. Okay, let's keep listening.
This post. Limited supply. SASN coin is now available for purchase. Just announced at conference today.
Just announced at conference today. This is 100% true. This part, so far, he's saying that we launched a crypto coin at the conference. It's 100% true so far. So first off, like where's the scam? Keep paying attention. Now, real quick, I want you guys to pay attention. Notice this is a whole video right here. I did a live stream because Destiny, the guy who actually did a NFT scam, and when I called him out on his NFT scam, that's when he started the lie and tried to claim that I did one. And that's why we even have this nonsense. So check this out. This is a video. It's called NFT scam ? Addressing false accusations with Seth. Was there actually a scam? Seth is my engineer. And this was done 2 years ago. 2 years ago. I'm going to enlarge that for you. 2 years ago. So let me ask you a question. If this guy was actually a documentarian, why didn't he include this? Let me ask you another question. The session I did with Seth, it was open floor. Anyone who believed that there was any kind of scam, anyone who got scammed, anyone who thought there was a scam, anyone who is guessing, they could come on, ask questions, and present evidence. Again, nobody showed up. Nobody. And I encourage you, I'll also put the link to this video below because I want you guys to watch it through. And I want anyone who objects to watch it through and object. I'll just give you guys a little taste of this. Ladies. And mind you, there's also education. When I said conference, there really was a conference. I did a conference on this. Let me see if I got the link for that. Boom, right here. And this makes perfect sense. I do conferences on topics that I know well. So for example, conference 3. This is what you get in conference 3. You can actually still get this. I'll put the link as well. This is great education. How to stay motivated and productive. Completely important thing for being successful. Conference on personal finance. You might imagine if I went from being impoverished to being well off, I understand personal finance. How to spend your money for a life of wealth. Next one, how to develop a product-based business. I've always talked about product-based business. This is something I know well. I've benefited greatly, and still to this day, I benefit from product-based business literally every day. How to use fulfillment by Amazon. I actually had an expert come in and speak on this. How to mint your own cryptocurrency. So we literally teach you how to mint your own crypto. That's why we did it together. We minted crypto and released it. That was a part of the whole process, is take it to market. So we show you how to do it. We also show you how to mint your own NFTs and how to sell them. I also have always said NFTs are a scam. I've always said that. I said that before this conference. I said it during the conference, and I said it after the conference. Complete consistency. And you'll notice that about me. I'm always very consistent. Then you have the art and science of negotiation in business and relationships. And this is one of my favorite parts about this conference because people don't understand the difference between discussion, argument, and negotiation. Negotiation is something that people engage in most infrequently, but it's the most important aspect, right? So this is, in fact, a conference that I did. I hosted it at my home in Las Vegas. And my engineer, Seth, was there leading. And here's Seth. And just here's a quick video because we end up having the discussion about this.
Ladies and saints, today we have Seth here with us, software engineer extraordinaire, aerospace engineer, utter mastermind. I wanted to bring Seth on because...
Now, let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you guys a reasonable question. How many YouTubers do you know who have personal friends and collaborators who are aerospace engineers? Do you know what an aerospace engineer is? These are the kind of guys who can work at SpaceX. These are the kind of guys who would be better qualified than Elon Musk to be Elon Musk. That's what an aerospace engineer is. And if you're dealing with someone that's that legit, what is the likelihood, ladies and saints? What's the likelihood that an aerospace engineer wants to hang out with someone who's a complete buffoon and scammer? What is the likelihood? It's very low. It's very low. Everything around me, everything associated with me, it reeks of this guy is legit. Everything points to this guy is legit. So what you have to realize is that the people who are putting forth the propaganda, I mean, they are dedicated. Man, they're dedicated. But just take a quick listen here.
There was a time that I had a live session and I was explaining the fraudulent nature of Stephen Bonnell, also known as Destiny the Gamer. and I had showed him basically saying that NFTs were a scam. Then he turns around and starts selling NFTs to his fans. And the true nature of a dishonest person, I call him a scammer, show the evidence, and then he just says, well, you're a scammer. I was like, how's that? And he says, you scammed your fans on an NFT. I was like, no, actually, I had a whole conference. Seth was there as the lead, the technical lead, and we taught folks how to create crypto, how to create NFTs from scratch. And so I want to bring on Seth to have a discussion about that. Also, for everyone watching, if you are one of the haters and you are convinced that I've scammed in some way, you can send in your $50 and we will let you come on and explain the scam. Like, we'd love to hear the evidence of the scam. We're all ears. Seth, I'm going to go ahead.
Again, now, as you can probably imagine, nobody wanted to come on. And also ask yourself, if there was a scam, it would be reasonably technical. You probably need to be a technical person to explain it. Most of the people claiming that there was a scam, they don't even have the technical skills to uncover it if there in fact was a scam. That's number one. And then number two, if you're going to go through all these great lengths to hire an aerospace engineer to scam people, you're going to scam them for $400 or even $2,000? No, someone operating on my level, if I ever end up being accused of a scam, it's going to be in the neighborhood of hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars. That's the level people like me operate on. We're not going to play games. If I'm going to risk everything that I have, everything that I've accumulated, it has to be hundreds of millions of dollars. I have a great life. Why would I risk my freedom over $400 or $2,000? It's not sensible. So it would have to be hundreds of millions of dollars for me to risk a great life. I have nothing to complain about. It wouldn't, $2,000 doesn't change my life either way. It's not sensible. May I acknowledge Kristen? He writes, Peace of the Saints. This is literally the definition of projection. Using the clips from your TV show where you explain how the Western society used religion and tactics to suppress and oppress. This has to be the narcissist small hat. Listen, man, the level of lying is extraordinary. Shout out to Michelle, is back, writes, I subbed to your Patreon yesterday, but it's more geared toward males. That's a fact. Will you make more content to help women who love you? And your content, your debate skills are unmatched and it's fun to watch. Sorry, only 280 word limit. And this is the only way I get to talk to you. I appreciate it. Oh, absolutely. I'd love to. In fact, Michelle, you could send me a DM with some topics you'd like to see on IG, on my IG, or you could just send it to me at marquettism.com. Just a couple of topics you'd like to hear, and we'll definitely get some content out for the ladies. And shout out to all the lady saints. I appreciate your support. Yes, indeed. And I'll give you guys a little bit more of this, and then we'll get back to the hit piece.
Go ahead and yield the floor to you to introduce yourself, and then we'll have the conversation.
Sure. Hey, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
And I said,
I just wanted to get past that because it's echoing.
So I'm really into crypto right now. I'm like to speak.
All right, let me see if he gave his credentials.
Startups.
To hear the evidence of the scam, we're all ears. Seth, I'm going to go ahead and yield the floor to you to introduce yourself, and then we'll have the conversation.
Sure. Hey, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. Me and Marquett met in an accelerator for startups in Springfield, Missouri, called the Factory. Actually sporting the shirts. We became pretty good friends while we were there. And one day he reached out and said, hey, I'm hosting a conference. And he's like, would you like to speak? What would you speak on? And I said, I'm really into crypto right now. I'm learning all the CLI, the command line interface to generate a wallet and then generate your own coin. And then once you have your own coin or token, you can generate NFTs on top of them. This was like right at the hype of all of that when Solana was at like $300 a token or a coin. Since then, it's dropped off dramatically, but every once in a while, like I think Bitcoin's at like a 52-week high right now. So crypto is still kind of there. It's not as big as it was when we did the conference, but I think it's still pretty big. As far as previous experience, I'm a software engineer at a lot of different companies. Worked in Fortune 500. I worked at Fortune 1, which is Walmart. I went to engineering.
And just real quick, you hear about Fortune 500, and that's very prestigious. He said he worked at Fortune 1. Nigga, Fortune 1. That means that's the biggest corporation on earth. Fortune 1. You hear Fortune 500, very prestigious. Man said he worked at Fortune 1, meaning number one, the top of the top. What is the likelihood that a guy who's an aerospace engineer and works at the biggest corporation on earth wants to hang out with a scammer? It's just not sensible. It doesn't make any sense. It's so weird. But anyways, let me let you guys see a little bit more of this. We'll carry on. Send in your comments, questions.
Engineering school at Missouri S&T. Can do rockets, can do all that kind of stuff. So super confident in my technical capabilities, and I was able to come to the conference and teach a lot of people about it. And I'm sure if you bought the PowerPoint afterward, it had exact instructions on how you could set up your own coin. I had some consultations with some people afterward that are setting up their own.
And just real quick, I brought an expert. He said, I can build rockets. I'm very confident in my technical abilities. And I did consultations with people afterward. Do you get value like that from these guys in this internet space? I also brought in an emergency room physician. I talked to you about health, wealth, relationships. Health, wealth, relationships. Health. I brought an emergency doctor in to talk to you guys to break down how do you help, how do you manage your own health? How do you engage with your doctor? How do you get the most out of your experience? How do you navigate certain things in the American context with regards to health? I brought in an emergency physician who's been practicing medicine longer than I've been alive. I brought in an aerospace engineer, a guy who can work on rockets, a guy who worked at the biggest corporation on earth. The access that I'm giving everyday regular people to folks who are super qualified in their industry, true experts, and I'm giving it to you at the lowest cost possible. And that's only possible because these are my personal friends. And I'm not the GOAT. I'm a scammer. No, I'm the GOAT. Scammers ridiculous. I'm the GOAT. Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Their own gig. And some of the people that I had consultations with have gone on to make hundreds of thousands of dollars more than they were when I met them. So
wait, hold on. Wait, what did you say there, Seth? Did you say that Marquett brought you in to share your expertise, and then people took a consultation with you and they only know you because of Marquett Burton, and then they made hundreds of thousands of dollars? Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, interesting. Sounds like you're adding value, Marquett.
Super proud of the stuff that we're doing here. And some of the people that I had consultations with have gone on to make hundreds of thousands of dollars more than they were when I met them. So super proud of the stuff that we're doing here. Peace of the Saints. Love it that I'm able to say all this to you guys.
I think it's hilarious that you just happen to be in a place called St. Louis. It's a beautiful thing. And one thing that I want to note to you is the man said, I can build rockets. God damn it. The man can build rockets. Just in case that slipped by you, together.
And there's things like, what are you trying to make us stupid? How am I saying that I just thought it was funny that I watched that Destiny clip and they were like making fun of you for saying that we built this wallet and everything in the CLI. They were saying, oh, I got my command line up. How am I supposed to do this? I was like, it's literally right there. Read the instructions. Like, what are you trying to make us stupid? Like, that's exactly how you do it. You can either put it on a USB drive, you can put it on your hard drive, you can there's like cloud wallets you can put it in, but all this stuff can be accessed through the CLI for whatever blockchain you're working on. So it's ridiculous that these guys are coming on and saying, making fun of you for saying that, yeah, we did this through the CLI. You guys saw it. It was in the terminals, all that stuff. So they're just defrauding you. It sucks. It's a total shame.
And you know the funny thing?
Wow. Marquett, so you're telling me, Marquett, that you have people who are of inferior intelligence basically calling you dumb. Marquett, are you telling me you just showed an aerospace engineer saying, Marquett, I observed a live session where internet dweebs who have accomplished nothing are trying to make fun of you because you said you can teach people how to mint crypto or NFTs from the command line. And that's correct. They're acting like that's incorrect. It's actually, in fact, correct. And you led a conference on that. And they could just buy the conference and learn how to do it. But instead, they're pretending as though you're making up things. They're pretending as though you're dumb when actually, actual fact, they're dumb. As I said, stupidity is evil. Come on, May. So again, you notice the guy who made this hit piece, he for some reason conveniently skipped over an entire hour-long live session where I brought on my aerospace engineer who was there leading the charge at the conference. And even you'll see the live chats, people are posting in the live chat, I was there. Now, are any of them saying, I was there, I got scammed, I was there, you owe me money? No. In fact, Seth himself said people have made hundreds of thousands of dollars more than they would have otherwise. So where's the scam? Sounds like people benefited greatly. Extraordinary. But let's go back to the hit piece. Let's go back to the hit piece.
Now, the full form of SASN is not explained by him anywhere, but from the look of it, sounds similar to the Saint and the Sinner coin. However, when his followers clicked to buy the limited supply on this link...
Now notice he says on this link, but he's not using the link. This is these are created graphics. So start paying attention here. Start paying attention.
They could not believe their eyes.
So now he's fundamentally lying right now. He says when people click to buy, they couldn't believe their eyes. Now remember, if you're talking about cryptocurrency or an NFT, now mind you, I think he's talking about cryptocurrency right now. He's not talking about an NFT, which this is funny because I thought I was scamming NFTs. Was I scamming NFTs? Was I scamming cryptocurrency? Which one is it? But remember this. If it's true, why are you not clicking the real link? Why are you showing graphics? And you guys know if something is on the blockchain, it's always there. You could show the real graph. Why are you not showing the real graph? Why is that? Are you trying to hide something? Are you lying? So notice he's not showing actual data. He's showing graphics. Watch this. And this is because he's trying to lie.
They noticed that the value of the coin...
Now look at this. This says IMGUR. What the heck is that? IMGUR. Is that a site that teaches you, that shows you how to track the value of crypto or NFTs? IMGUR. What is that? I'm just type that into a Google search real quick. Search IMGUR. Find, rate, and share the best memes and images. Let me enlarge that for you. So you saw in the upper left corner, it says IMGUR. I just typed in IMGUR. Find, rate, and share the best memes and images. I'm just going to click it, see what this is. Okay, so this is like a goofy site where you can find images and maybe create some, I think. I don't know. It looks a little bit. Okay. So you can create. Aha. You create images here. So maybe instead of showing you real data, maybe he created an image to falsify and lie. And that appears to be what happened. Let's go back. Let's go back to it. So share this tab and I'm going to enlarge this. You can clearly see IMGUR in the upper left-hand corner. So what the heck is this what is this a graph of? Like, what is this a graph of? This has nothing to do with me. I don't even know what this is a graph of. It's like the efforts and lengths they go to lie.
Coin went from 2.2 thousand to all the way to 0.
Now that's a lie. That's in fact a lie. He said the value of the coin went from 2.2 to 0. This is a complete lie. This is wholly made up. But here's the weird thing. I thought I was scamming NFTs. You notice how they switched that in and they think you're not going to track it. They said I was scamming NFTs. Where's the evidence? Now we're talking about crypto coins. Well, where's the graphs? Where's the real graphs? This is a user-generated image that you created. Very strange. Also, we're the victims. We're the victims. It's all nonsense. Carrying on.
And this fall was not committed by the demand and supply in the market, but by Marquett Burton himself.
Well, where is the real graph? Where's the victims? Like, where's the evidence? This is all made up stuff.
Fortunately, viewers were quick enough to identify this
scam. Viewers were. No, these are not viewers. This is from Destiny. You can see literally in the upper left-hand corner right here. You can see it says Destiny. This is Destiny's Reddit. Destiny is a Skittle guzzler whom I expose for scamming NFTs.
Scam and public.
Oh, and then look, it says Saint in the center. What is an NFT guy? So they're saying that I pulled a rug pull on NFTs. Well, the question is, you said that this was cryptocurrency right here. It's not NFTs, this is crypto. So they're confusing their own lies.
Published this post on Reddit. Saint in the center.
And he still is not saying where it's coming from or why this person is incentivized to tell this lie.
Rug pulls $2,000 from his fans. If you look at,
and also remember when he showed Adam said it was $400. So notice the inconsistency. Adam said it's $400. This random person who has no credibility said it's $2,000. Destiny, mind you, who actually did scam his fans with NFTs. Well, where's the data? Where's the graphs? Where's the charts? Where's the victims? There's literally no evidence. It's just a fake created image and then some random Skittle guzzler.
TVL, total value locked. It looks like the pool was at 2K for a couple of days before collapsing to zero. If you look at the trade section, there's a bunch of
Now, this is important. If any of this is true, where's the graphs?
Transaction for own NFTs to know them.
Like, where's the graph? Shouldn't the graph come up right after this?
Most importantly, when Burton committed this NFT scam, he did not even know the meaning of NFT.
And so I told.
Now, this is crazy. This is, and again, this is the psychology. We taught a whole conference on NFTs. What's the likelihood I don't know the meaning of NFTs? And also remember, what business was I in before getting into YouTube? Software. I was in software. That's why I have friends who are in software. I was in the software business. What is the likelihood I don't know the meaning of NFT? Complete Looney Tune stuff.
Then enough tea, like NFT, like what is an NFT? What is an NFT?
Real quick, can you guys say?
And whenever viewers ask the meaning of NFT, he always tries to skip the question and put the burden on the person asking the same
thing. So there's like a phobia.
No, there's not a phobia for everything.
There's like a phobia for like explanations.
Book.
There's like phobia for like explanations, so people will try to dodge explanations. Kind of like you try to dodge the NFT thing earlier.
No, was that the actual point, or was the point of like where you?
As you guys can see in the bottom right corner, you have Destiny. This is the guy that I busted for scamming NFTs. And so he's sending his followers who are video gamers, Skittle guzzlers, and they keep coming on asking the same question. You see him in the bottom right-hand corner. Now think about the nature of the lies. It's very strange. I put on a whole conference teaching about NFTs. And then you have people saying, well, he doesn't even know what the word NFT means. This is the low level that they get to, the very low level. It's not even sensible, this stuff.
Going down the path of what is an NFT.
Now you got a guy that's wearing a Home Depot t-shirt. Bro works at Home Depot. You can see the background of his home. And he's asking a man who has been successful in software what an NFT is. He's asking a man who put on a conference on NFTs, what's an NFT?
Which is going to get me to talk. No, we're not going to do that, gang. We're going to have you.
And he actually also doesn't know what an NFT is. So I was wondering if you could explain that.
I had to start laughing. These guys are getting funny.
These guys are awesome. I like these guys.
So how can this guy launch a crypto coin when he doesn't even know the meaning?
Wait a second, and then you'll notice that they're switching. So NFTs and crypto coins are different things. So he just said they're talking about NFTs, and now he's talking about crypto coin again. Pay attention here.
Of NFT.
Compare me to no fake shit.
Don't launch a crypto coin when he doesn't even know the meaning of NFT.
Compare me.
And this is the kind of pettiness that you find with these incels, is they're so angry that, you know, their brains turn off. What are the chances that I don't know the meaning of NFT? It's so minuscule. I went to Berkeley. I went to Johns Hopkins. I ran several software companies. I put on a conference on NFTs. Everyone knows that it's not true, but it's the petty, immature nature of them, that they believe that if they repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat, they can spread the falsehood. That's their goal, is to spread it through repetition. And as I've said, it short circuits the human brain.
To no fake shit. Don't compare me to no fake.
Turns out his habit of scamming people also caught the attention.
Wait a second. We still didn't get the scam proven. All they did, they played 3 incels sitting in their basement asking me what's an NFT. Where was the evidence? He showed an image of a falsely created graph, but there's still no evidence. On the contrary, I just played you a video of Seth, an aerospace engineer that worked for the largest corporation on earth, saying, well, not only do you know what an NFT is, which is just a basic matter of definition, is like you actually showed people how to mint them from scratch, from the CLI. So that's a lot of evidence, and no one showed up to object to anything. But then on their case, they just keep playing trolls, saying silly things with no evidence whatsoever. This is the sad part. And notice during this live session, there's not one hater. There's not one hater in the live chat. Have you ever seen my live chat with not one hater? How is that possible?
Of Adam 22.
You're broke.
Your feelings.
You're actually broke.
Here's the fun.
Oh gosh. And then just, they're saying things that are not sensible. He said, you're broke. You're actually broke. Okay. Some things are just so silly, you don't engage it, right? It's silly. You don't engage it. You know, asking someone like me what's an NFT, that's like asking a boxer like Floyd Mayweather, what's a pull counter? It's like asking Michael Jordan, what's a free throw? It's just silly. You don't engage it. When you have someone sitting across from you and they're saying you're broke while you're wearing a handmade custom suit, it's just silly. I left the Ritz-Carlton earlier I'm staying at the Ritz-Carlton. I'm wearing a handmade custom suit. What are the chances I'm broke? It is very low. It's just not even a reasonable claim. It's just silliness.
I just don't really want to listen to a scam artist tell me what's going on in my lifestyle.
Adam is a famous podcaster.
Sledge, we got Ryan Long.
Who?
You know what? I'm damn near wondering, did Adam put some money in on this? Because no one's ever favorable toward Adam. He said Adam's a famous podcaster and then showed some nice clips about him. This is kind of interesting. Maybe Adam put in some money, because I did embarrass Adam very badly on whatever podcast. I embarrassed him so badly, he got up and ran off of the podcast, and everyone on the internet was talking about it. And he was so embarrassed. It's the one time that Adam did not do a reaction on No Jumper. That's how embarrassed he was. So I wouldn't be surprised if he actually put some money down on this one. Let me acknowledge some of the folks supporting the work. Shout out to Carter, writes Peace of the Saints, came in via Venmo. I also acknowledge Gary came in supporting the work via the Stripe link. I appreciate you. Also, shout out to Frank supporting as well. You are appreciated. I think we're all caught up there. Carrying on.
Happened to meet Burton when he was lecturing OF girls.
Right now.
A lot of things will be hard for you to comprehend. That's why you're in sex work, because you can't offer value in the marketplace.
Now, this meeting was hosted by Whatever Podcast, but Burton failed to realize who was sitting on the other side of the table. As Burton continued to lecture OF girls.
Right now.
A lot of things will be hard for you to comprehend. That's why you're in sex work, because you can't offer value in the marketplace.
What the?
Yeah, no, if you have...
That was crazy, that uncomfortable laugh, because she knew she got flamed.
I think I have a lot more to offer than just being on OnlyFans.
If you had
like that I started 2 months ago. Like there's a lot more things I have to offer than
If
that.
you had
Love.
significant...
Adam was losing his cool. He knew something.
So this guy's lying. If you actually watch the show, what happened was I roasted Adam off rip. Soon as I got the chance, I started roasting Adam off rip. Then I start roasting the OF girl, and Adam in his head was thinking, damn, I know this guy's going to come back for me. I know I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. He probably also didn't want to shoot the fade after the show was over. So he's like, I got to leave out of here early.
Was off about this man. He sat quiet for the right moment, and when he got his turn, Adam grilled Burton to the ground.
Now, this is how bad this guy's lying. I'm gonna pull up I'm gonna see if I can find the real clip. He stated that Adam, quote, grilled Burton to the ground. This is bad. This ball is seriously creating propaganda. Now, I just remember he said that Adam grilled Burton to the ground. Okay, remember that.
That's why she didn't know.
I'm a bad listener.
Just
I'm a bad
interrupting.
listener and I'm a cheater. Then prove
Why
it.
did you do an
Prove it.
NFT scam on your fans for like $400?
Let's see.
Checkmate. This guy's a scammer.
So, you can see the look on Burton's face. He had no explanation to Adam's answer, trying to avoid the moment.
Silliness.
Checkmate. This guy's a scammer.
$400 scam. This guy himself just showed it earlier that on a Reddit post, which when did that become evidence? That's so strange. Just a random stranger makes claims and it's valid. That said $2,000. Adam just said $400. Why is the guy in the documentary not validating, well, which is it?
Just like he did with NFT question before.
And he actually also doesn't know what an NFT is. So I was wondering if you could explain it to me.
These guys are awesome. I like these guys.
But Adam got him at gunpoint and revealed the ugly truth about this man.
Just so you know, every girl sitting on this side of the table earns more money than him.
Yeah.
Stop. He's an imposter. He's been.
Yo, and this is the great part too. How could anybody possibly know that, right? Let's just use logic here. Let's use some logic. And I'm going to enlarge this so we can look at this. He said every girl earns more money than him, meaning me. Okay, how much do I earn? How could you possibly know that? Like, are you my accountant? Are you my business partner? How could you possibly know what I do or don't earn? It's impossible. Then with these girls, unfortunately, half of them are broke. And I'll tell you how we know. The one with the blonde and the blue shirt, the blonde hair, the one with the blue shirt. See if you guys can see my mouse. This girl right here actually tried to make some money off of me on Twitter. She created some fake clip lying, claiming that I had messaged her. And then my lawyer actually had to reach out and said, hey, this is slanderous. He never messaged you and you're creating lies and we will sue the brakes off of you. Then she apologized and removed it. She's broke, trying to run up her OF. This girl I've never seen or heard of. This girl also does bottle service. So it's like, how are they well off? They work in nightclubs. This girl, I know exactly how much money she's worth, which is not much, because she actually came on my podcast 2 times and she came to kick it with a boss in Vegas. So she was in love with a boss, you dig? And that's documented. So what do we talk? Oh, and by the way, my assistant had actually pulled up info on this girl, and she lived in a house that I think was like $300,000. So what are the chances that she has more money when her house is $300,000 and my cars are around that amount? What's the likelihood? It's very unlikely. My houses are $1 million. My cars are $250,000, and there's several of them. Your house is $300,000. What's the likelihood that we're even in the same ballpark? We're not. So the lies are just extraordinary. And that's the key, is that there's never any substantiation of any of this. Now, here's a funny thing. This guy just claimed that Adam roasted me to the ground. Well, that's kind of weird, because if you actually look at what the internet says, like the entire internet, I put in an unbiased search query. I put in Adam 22, the Saint Sinner. That's all I put in. I'm going to enlarge this for you. That's unbiased. I didn't put in anything biased. I just put Adam 22, the Saint Sinner. There's no leaning in either person's favor. Adam 22 rage quits after Marquett Burton said this about his wife. So he rage quitted. Okay. Adam 22 on why he walked out of the whatever podcast. He got flamed. That's why. He got flamed. Let's see. Now let's play Adam 22, Satan Center, Rage Quit. Here's the Whatever podcast right here. It reads, Adam 22 Rage Quits the show after confrontation. That's from the Whatever podcast said he rage quit. Huh, interesting. Adam 22 and OF Girls versus the Saint in the Center, rage quit. Obviously referring to Adam 22. Adam 22 destroyed by the Saint in the Center. Adam 22 destroyed by the Saint in the Center. Interesting. So I think we can clearly see. This one says, wow, the Saint in the Center cooks Adam 22 into rage quitting. So why the lies? Why did Lil Buddy try to make it seem like Adam 22 was really getting it in when really he was getting flamed?
He's been outed in the past.
And he's mad about it.
He basically LARPs as a rich.
Meanwhile, the guy speaking is Marquett Burton. He was the NFT guy that rug pulled $2,000 from his fans. He had a fake website.
And again, we're still waiting for the evidence of the NFT. They just repeat the claims. And this is really important for anyone watching. If you consider yourself an intelligent person, and this is why formal education is really important. People who don't get formal education, they don't comprehend how to use certain skills and thinking to figure out if something's real or not. So they just repeat. They're repeating the same thing, trying to brainwash you. Now, let's go back to Seth real quick. Do I still have that one up? Okay, cool. So here's Seth. This is the engineer who actually was there at the conference that I taught, which occurred way before I even knew Destiny existed.
Seth, is that we're in?
I think he might have even pulled up a graph, maybe if I'm lucky. Let me see.
In an era now where you can have some dumb kid whose life is based on playing video games. He has no formal education. I think it's funny because the truth is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Seth, because Seth is the technical genius, not me. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see. Try that. Boom. If someone was to have bought Assassin Coin, and you might not remember because it was years ago that we did this, I hosted a conference. And if you ever have the chance to go to any of my conferences, now I stopped doing them, but you should go. If I do anything in person, you should go. It's a great value. When we created Assassin Coin, do you remember what we initially released it for price-wise?
Yeah, so it was $1 per coin.
It was $1 per coin. So if you bought Assassin Coin, you would still to this day have enormous returns. Is that
okay? Now this is really important. I want you guys to pay attention to this. They pulled up some fake image that they created. This is me going to a website that actually tracks the real freaking price of the Assassin Coin. And it was released at $1, and it was released during my conference. And I said, you can buy it now for the conference attendees and for the actual saints. Now watch this. You would have bought it at $1. Watch this.
Accurate?
Yes. It's currently at 87. You see it.
Right. You can see it right here. This is in real time. I'm displaying the screen. It's currently at $87.87, and it's been sitting high largely since it was created. So if you would have bought it, which you didn't need to, you weren't necessarily like compelled to, you would have, can we say you would have multiplied your money no less than 87 times?
Correct. 100%.
Got it. So then how is it that you could have been defrauded?
Yeah, so you can see that the volume on that chart is at 0. So no one's been trading it since, that conference where we released it.
Right.
I think the goal of the conference, right, is we wanted to eventually start a marketplace where you could buy and sell some of the Assassin products with the coin. I just think that never got to fruition. And so since then, it's just kind of stalled out and not done anything. So, if, whoever bought it, I think you can see on there that 12 people bought the coin, and that's shot up to 87. They probably all bought within the same hour or so, and so that's why it spiked up really quickly. So supposedly the only people affected by this were 12 people that bought it, and if you guys feel defrauded, for sure, we're willing to pay you for whatever you spent on it. It was kind of just a test experiment thing, and maybe one day we can get to the point where we have a marketplace with a coin like that. It just never worked out while we were there. So.
Right. And there's two things that I want to highlight.
Okay, now here's the important thing. If you own the coin, you bought it at $1. Now pay attention. Use some intelligence. If you bought the coin, you bought it at $1. This is years later. It's at $87 per coin. That means you made money X 87. If you bought it at $1, let me just give you an example. Let's just give you a math example. Let's say when the coin was first released, you're one of the 12 people that bought the coin. Let's say you bought 100 coins for $100. You bought 100 coins for $100. Your money got multiplied 87 times because the coin went from $1 to 87. That means that your $100 investment netted you $8,700. What the hell kind of fraud is that where you multiplied your money 87 times? Can someone explain that to me? Can someone explain that to me? What kind of fraud makes you multiply your money 87 times? And then you could just sell it and lock in your profits. And we showed the graph real time. You have to ask yourself, why is it that the guy who claimed it was a scam didn't show the real graph of the real coin? Because you have to maintain the lie by not showing that. Come on, man. Come on, man. If I'm not the realist, and then here you go. Then you got this guy lying about the rug pull. What are you talking about, buddy? Where's the evidence? Where's the graphs? Where's the explanation? They're just repeating the same thing. And here's the other thing. Look at this too. And this is truly disturbing. They write, he had a fake website. He enlisted himself. Again, these are low IQ people because that's not even proper English. He had a fake website. What website? What's the website? Why don't you list the website? He enlisted himself worth over 100 million, a real scammer. Why don't you show the website? Where is the website? Why are you referencing the site but not just linking it?
Website he enlisted himself worth over $100 million.
Where is the website?
A real scammer. When Adam claimed that Burton acts like a rich guy on the internet,
He basically LARPs as a rich.
it convinced us to deep dive into the life of this man.
Mr. Burton.
Shut your mouth.
And when Burton himself...
Now, remember, why didn't you first deep dive into this website? You claim I say I have $100 million, which I've never said one time. Oh, and also here's another thing. I'm a YouTuber. I make videos. So if I ever set out $100 million, I'd say it in a video. Where's the video? It's not one video evidence of any of the claims made. Secondly, you said there's a website where I created it and I said I have $100 million. What's the link? Where's the website? Keep paying attention.
Requested to search for him in Google.
My name. You can Google my name right now. You can Google my name.
We were intrigued to find out more about him. Fortunately, we are really glad for investigating his background because the more we dug deeper, the more...
And again, this is great video editing right here. Right, exactly. I did a reverse scam. I did a scam where the person getting scammed makes a ton of money. Bizarre, right? Utterly bizarre.
Scams this guy was hiding.
Will be a bit unusual. We'll be stacked up a bit. We have a nice...
And off the bus, but even classrooms for attendance.
Okay, so you're saying that I'm a scammer and you're showing me on daytime television being interviewed about one of my successful businesses? That's a scam? What? Show me one YouTuber who's been on television on Fox Business being interviewed about a technology he invented. Show me one. Just one. You don't have to show me more. Just one. What? So think about how brainless you are. You're showing me being interviewed on Fox, on network television. That makes me look good, Goofy. Like, what is going on?
Welcome to Book Smarts. Today's book I came across when I was training. I am receiving the biggest gift possible by being honored by such honorable people.
So you're showing me accepting an award for the philanthropy I do around the world. I'm supposed to be embarrassed by that? You're showing me in a handmade silk, custom, gorgeous suit being filmed and recognized by a room full of multimillionaires and probably a couple billionaires in there at a gala in Washington, D.C. with all of the important people in politics. That's embarrassing? What are you thinking? That's my whole point. I've lived such a high quality life. The things that you are trying to embarrass me on are still merits. It doesn't make sense. You look stupid. I'm accepting an award. Show me one YouTuber, one, that's been publicly recognized by governors, mayors, presidents, presidential candidates, billionaires. Show me one receiving an award in the midst of those caliber of people. You couldn't do it. I mean, this is ludicrous.
So the first we were looking for was a website that describes his background or anything.
Let's see. So he types in Marquett Burton, and this is a really weird search breakdown. It says resume searching. So clearly they've already been searching. It says resume. And it shows that they searched Marquett Burton girlfriend. Okay. And I don't know what Mardani is. I'm assuming it's some kind of like nerd movie.
The first we were looking for was a website that describes his background or anything that could help us.
Okay, you can see a lot of things. Okay, so this was done recently.
Understand who he is actually. And keeping in mind the way he was bragging about searching.
Now, mind you, this is an AI image that they have on the left side. You can tell because it A, doesn't quite look like me, and B, the words on the shirt are falsified.
For himself on Google.
My name. You can Google my name right now. You can Google my name.
Or the way he compares himself to the great Napoleon. We thought there would definitely be something big out there.
Okay, now I like where we're at right now. Pay attention. And this is the clearest example of how they lie, and manufacture. They never have evidence. They never have truth. Watch this. You're going to like this one. You're going to love this one, matter of fact. Shout out to Das. He writes, peace of the saints to the big homie. I know this depends on the person and circumstances, and I'm not saying this because I'm rushing, just curious. How long does it typically take for a business to become successful? It depends. I tell you what, if I had a business and it had been, like, let's say a business I really believe in, and it'd been 2 years and it's not taking off, man, I'd get rid of it. I would get rid of it. It depends on how much you know, how much experience you have, experts in the industry. Sometimes you have a good idea, but it's too early. It's too bleeding edge. Sometimes you have a great idea, but you don't understand how to market the idea. You don't have access to the marketing tools or the marketing capital. So there are a variety of reasons that a product may not really pop off. And we can talk more about that. That's a really meaningful question. Knowing when to quit is a challenge for people who are diligent. Most people are going to quit too early in whatever they do, but people who are diligent and focused people, highly intelligent people, they don't know when to quit. I've definitely had businesses that I didn't quit early enough. Now let's pay attention.
There. However, Google results only mentioned him as an author of the book called The Black Box. Now, don't get swayed.
Whoa. He said that Google only mentions me as the author of The Black Box. Like I'm not on Google. That's very interesting because he already disproved himself, because when you type in my name, a bunch of stuff pops up. So you're lying. You also showed me accepting an award in front of dignitaries. So if I'm accepting awards in front of dignitaries, for sure, there's probably other things on Google. Well, buddy lying for real, but we're going to get into it.
We thought there would definitely be something big out there. However, Google results only mentioned him as an author of the book called The Black Box.
Now you know you lied. Now you know you lied. Pay attention. I'm about to get him.
Now, don't get swayed.
Now, here's something to pay attention to. Look at the reviews of that book. Over 500 reviews. They're all 5-star. That tells you something, doesn't it?
Paid by the 575 reviews.
Oh, now watch. They hating something serious, boy. We about to get them. Pay attention.
On this book, because fake review complaints have been going on at this platform for
a
decade. So the most important thing to notice here.
Look, so bro was like, he has a 5-star review, over 500 reviews, all 5 stars. Now, mind you, reviews and sales are not the same thing. Those are different things. Most people buy the product, they never review it. So I have 500 plus reviews that are all 5-star, right? And as soon as he sees that evidence that, damn, this guy wrote a hell of a book, straight away, oh, don't be persuaded. Amazon has fake reviews. Don't worry. Here's some articles showing that people have put fake reviews on Amazon. Come on, man. Like, God damn. Like, they take every bit of merit and try to switch it. Oh, it's sad, man. It's sad. But don't worry. I'm going to get him. Shout out to Juan. He writes, peace of the saints. I noticed none of these people ever want beef with you. The big homie. Not a single one. And we're going to get every one of them. Every single one. We're going to make every single one of them pay in various ways. Shout out to Das. He writes, I was never into software and didn't think of a software business. A software business would be a fit. Since starting your course and building my business, it's been one of the best financial decisions I've made. I actually enjoy most of the process. I'm grateful. I tried it. Listen, I never thought I would be in software. You came into software in the greatest era for software. So, the rapid iteration, the ability to fix bugs while being non-technical is just really a beautiful, remarkable opportunity. And you have access to this community. The people who are taking my course on AI, which requires no coding experience, and I teach it as a practicum, which means just like we're talking right here, except there'll be like 6 to 30 people on in real time, and we're workshopping your actual technology. We're collaborating on marketing and all these different things. It's an unparalleled experience. I invite any of you to join school.com/Marquett. Just click classrooms, and then the course is like AI no coding experience course. What you're going to find is that the ability to create valuable products quickly, and the fact that we teach you how to make a buck off of it, it's life-changing. Because whether it's this business you're working on now, or maybe your 3rd or 4th business, one of them is going to take off and your life will never be the same. And that is why I do this work, because you will not be able to tell that story of how you became a multimillionaire without me in it. And that feels good. That is one of my big goals. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's get back to the BS.
Was the About section of the author. In this section, Burton claims that he is the CEO of FletchApp.com.
Okay, he said Burton claims. No, actually, I was the CEO of Fletch, which is a company that is now defunct. This book came out many years ago when I was running a tech company. So that was the correct description of me as an author. I was a CEO of a tech business. That's a fact.
The world's first effortless attendance technology.
That's also a fact. I invented that vertical. I taught the world how to do effortless attendance. Effortless means you don't have to lift a finger. You don't have to do a retina scan. You don't have to do a fingerprint scan. You don't have to swipe a card. It's literally effortless. You don't lift a finger. I invented that. And I did that in 2014, mind you. I did it in 2014, and it was bootlegged by several companies. Yes, I invented something.
And has opened Fletch offices in Chicago, Cincinnati, St. Louis, South Korea, and Puerto Rico.
That's correct. And also Springfield, Missouri, also Erie, Pennsylvania, and several other places.
But the moment we typed FletchApp.com on Google, it directly led us to nothing.
And this is where they think that they're getting clever. You're not getting clever, because that business, which was founded in 2014, then there's something called COVID. COVID is about what? People staying home, sheltering in place. Fletch is effortless attendance, attending, going out. Obviously, a business that's circled around attendance in large numbers is going to die during a time of social distancing, doofus. So yes, the business was defunct by 2021. So when you're searching that query in 2026, yeah, nothing's going to come up, doofus. And these are the kind of lies that they try. Good try, buddy. Good try.
We tried it several times.
This guy's funny.
Luckily, on YouTube, we discovered a 6-year-old video where he was introducing.
And that's the point. It's a 6-year-old video.
What FletchApp was about.
Fletch started as a effortless attendance technology. And so similarly, once a student walks into the classroom, it'll detect their presence. And at a lot of institutions.
Real quick, though, you should ask yourself, people start companies all the time, software businesses all the time. Who do you have to be to end up on Fox Business News? Who do you have to be? Can you be a random person? Can you be someone with no revenue? Can you be someone that has no accomplishments in the software business? Why would you be there? Curious.
institutions, we actually put these devices out.
Now, this video was published on this Missouri-based news channel, which is why he could not get them to delete this video. But if he claimed that this...
Why would I want them to delete the video? Like these are, and this is the insidious language. I love the video. It's a true video of me being an accomplished person. I'd never want them to delete it. I want them to keep it up. But when he says something like that, he's trying to make you think that I try to get videos deleted. What are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense.
Product is worth $40.
Device is about $40, and the important thing is it lasts 3 years.
And it was such a huge success that Marquett has opened Fletch offices in Chicago, Cincinnati, St. Louis, South Korea, and Puerto Rico. Then why does this product not have a single source of existence on the internet? Even viewers from this video were quick enough to identify who he is. And now it all makes sense.
So he does no searching, and says, well, why doesn't it exist in the real world? But didn't do any searching. That's like me sitting here right now and I'm doing a hit piece on Elon Musk. I'm like, Elon Musk says he has rockets, but I checked and I can't find it anywhere on the internet. Elon Musk says he has rockets, but I checked. I can't find it anywhere on the internet. Word. That wouldn't be sensible. You'd just be like, well, did you actually check? I don't think you checked, because it is in fact a real thing that has been deployed several times. And you say that Mr. Burton doesn't exist on the internet. Well, I'd have to beg to differ, because there's like tons of sources. So here's NPR. This device is tracking student attendance to save universities money. And I can go through, there's the device right there. I could go through tons of evidence. But the truth is that you didn't check on purpose. Yes, CEO of Fletch app, Marquett Burton. Aha. And here's some schools that use it: University of Nevada, Las Vegas, DeVry Education Group, Pasadena City College, and others. Aha. Okay. So little buddy's lying. And you can find many sources if you would but only check. But that was not his goal. His goal was not to tell the truth.
Because in one of the startup job search websites called wellfound.com, Burton mentioned his profession as a B2B software sales expert. So how can an author claim himself to be an American technology entrepreneur?
Now, it's funny. He writes CEO of an untraceable company. CEO of an untraceable company. I just showed you a news article. I could really do this all day, but I won't. So here's another news article, and this one is in the Chicago Business Journal. We also had an office in Chicago, mind you. That appears to be Marquett Burton right there, and that appears to be the company in question. Can a study group app fix dropout rates? Fascinating. I told you that I started in 2014. This one's from 2016. Seems like he hasn't gone through and actually checked any sources. It's kind of weird because there's a ton of sources. And so it's like he's not checking and then claiming that they don't exist. Is very dishonest.
A CEO of an untraceable company for which he opened offices in multiple countries, when he's actually a broke sales expert for money from viewers.
Damn.
And of course, for those of you with common sense, if you'd like to support the work as I go through, you can also use this information here to send in tithes and tuition.
Turns out Adam22 was exactly right about him.
Because you're broke.
Your feelings.
You're actually broke.
Not to mention, nowhere in the About section he mentioned the profession in which he did masters from Johns Hopkins University. And here he mentioned about receiving an alumni award.
Now, and I want to address all this, but we can go through like years and years and years of evidence. Little buddy just making up stuff. So here's the Business Authority. Oh, who is that? That looks like Marquett Burton. Looks like he's right there giving a talk. You might imagine he's giving a talk on a business. Yeah, interesting. Fletch. Oh, there it is right there. So why the lies? Why the lies? He says it doesn't exist on the internet, but I keep pulling up articles like quite easily. How come he can't find the articles? And I want to honor every single thing in this hit piece. We're going to just pick each piece of it apart. And as we go through, do share your comments, questions, thoughts, ties, tuition as we go through. Shout out to Dominic. He came in by PayPal, said he sent an email. Take a look at it in a moment. But yeah, we're going to go through this bit by bit because the lies are just so numerous.
From Johns Hopkins University. And here he mentioned about receiving an alumni award from the same university.
Right.
But on YouTube, he expressed it as receiving a global award from Procter & Gamble Company, which is listed under Fortune 500 companies in the United States.
Wait, this is weird. I want you guys to pay attention. Like they lie on purpose. So right here, he states that I said that I received an award from the Johns Hopkins University, which you can Google. Johns Hopkins is a very prestigious university. And I said that I received an award from the Johns Hopkins University, which I in fact did. So let's see if they tell the truth on that or if they lie about it. So let's see if he tries to confuse you.
University. But on YouTube, he expressed it as receiving a global award from Procter & Gamble Company, which is listed under Fortune 500.
Now he's lying because these are two unrelated things, and I'm going to bust them out in a second. But let's just hear the full lie.
500 companies in the United States. Marquett Burton Award acceptance speech and other clips. Clips of Marquett Devon Burton giving acceptance speech for global award, speaking to Procter & Gamble about...
But I really wanted to be here. We actually started raising capital on Tuesday, and then I caught a plane that same night and flew out here, and investors were mad, like, how dare you? So thank you all.
This suspicious
same night and flew out.
Okay, so here you see me at a gala accepting an award. I'm really living a boss life. I'm living James Bond. You did? Listen, babe, my socks are crazy. The white velvet dress shoes with the tie-ups on them. You dig? The paisley white and cream silk blazer, custom, just flew in town to accept an award. I'm living real James Bond 007. Imagine trying to hate on that. Insanity. And I'm accepting an award in front of people who are themselves massively accomplished. Now, here's the weird thing. You got to remember what the actual topic was. This is me accepting a different award. He said that I was not awarded by the Johns Hopkins University. In fact, I was, but he's saying he can't find the evidence. Well, again, it's not that you can't find the evidence, it's that you don't want to find the evidence because you're lying and you're really invested in your lie, buddy. So here we go again. Here's the evidence. This is the Johns Hopkins University right here. Yep, this is the Johns Hopkins University. And this is their website. And it reads Outstanding Recent Graduate Award. Outstanding Recent Graduate. And let me tell you why it's such a prestigious award. Everybody who goes to Johns Hopkins is smart and probably came from a rich family. So they came from a rich family and they're for sure smart. Outstanding means you stood out from people who themselves are all very accomplished. Now, let's get back to it in case you didn't comprehend that. Outstanding Recent Graduate Award. This is clearly the Johns Hopkins website. These are the 2025 award recipients. We're referring to an older award, obviously. So I'm not going to go into this. I'm just going to do a control search on my name. Marquett Burton. I graduated in 2011. I was awarded in 2017. It's as clear as day. It's as clear as day. These are the people who also received the award in various disciplines. I graduated with my graduate degree 2011. I was awarded in 2017 for my hugely impactful work. And obviously this is not only good work, but it's work that was better than my peers. So you tried to just finesse everybody on the internet just now, little buddy. Let's go back to the documentary, go back to the hit piece, and let's go back. Let's hear him start the lie. So here we go.
University. And here he mentioned about Adam 22 was exactly right about him.
Because you're broke.
Your feelings.
You're actually broke.
Not to mention, nowhere in the About section he mentioned the profession in which he did masters from Johns Hopkins University. And here he mentioned about receiving an alumni award from the same university. but on YouTube, he expressed it as receiving a global award from Procter & Gamble Company.
No, I didn't express it as that, you doofus. You're lying, and I just showed everyone where you can find it publicly available that I, in fact, did receive this award from Johns Hopkins University. So this is yet another award, yes? Yes, and this is the thing about peons. I receive many awards because I've done a lot. You got them confused, buddy. And that's my whole point. The things that you're trying to insult me on are merits. You're trying to insult me on getting awards? Where they do that at? And you're getting my awards confused because there's so many. Please, get a life, buddy. Get a life, my boy. And also, he said, well, Marquett, you have this tech company, but I can't find any evidence of it. Here's, what are we on, article number 5 now? Here's another article. There's me in my office. In my office. Transplanted tech company takes root in Erie. Marquett, I thought he said there's no evidence. This appears to be a news website. Marquett grew up in California, graduated from Berkeley, graduated from Johns Hopkins. His company is headquartered in Chicago. And I just said earlier, I founded the company in 2014. There's the verification. 2019, relocated headquarters, Erie, Pennsylvania. Why? They wrote a check. That's why, buddy. You can read the article here. You can study here. Boom, there's some of the technology I created. Huh? Come on now. Y'all got to stop with the hate. You got to. Oh, and by the way, another thing to remember, I have my own factory producing these devices. Yeah, there's so much. The more you dig in, the more you find out how truly impressive what I did really was. Come on, man. The lies, the lies. I'm the realest thing you ever see on TV.
Which is listed under Fortune 500 companies in the United States. Marquett Burton Award acceptance speech and other clips. Clips of Marquett Devon Burton giving acceptance speech.
Hey, real quick. When do you see any other YouTuber accepting something based on merit? Not based on coming in front of a microphone and babbling, but based on merit.
For Global Award, speaking to Procter & Gamble about...
But I really wanted to be here. We actually started raising capital on Tuesday, and then I caught a plane that same night and flew out here, and investors were mad, like, how dare you? So thank you all.
This suspicious behavior was also pointed out by one of the readers from his not-so-famous book.
Now, here's a funny thing. Again, we're about to dispel the mythology. So Lil Buddy wants to show a review on my book, right? That's 2 stars. And we know who wrote these reviews. These are fake reviews by the Skittle Guzzlers because I insulted their leader and their behaviors. But I want you guys to notice what he's doing. Now, remember, you guys can see on Amazon's front page, it shows my book, over 500 reviews, all 5 stars. That's a quality piece of work there. So why is it that he's not looking at the norm? He went to go find the outlier. Let me show you why. And emphasis when I say outlier, outlier. We're going to talk about it. Notice this is just a random image, again, created. This is not on Amazon's website.
Called The Box.
And how much research did you do when you called my book The Box? The book's called The Black Box. Can we trust you at all? Can we trust you at all? Right. He claimed the reviews that I have are fake, and then he goes and shows a fake review, right? And then he called my book The Box. I'm going to replay that just so you guys can see how ludicrous these people are.
Also pointed out by one of the readers from his not-so-famous book called The Box. The author loves to brag about his education at Berkeley and Hopkins, although he really went to Pasadena.
Oh boy, these people and the lies. Now, here's the funny thing. When you have people who haven't accomplished anything, the thing that they hate the most is men who have. It's called jealousy. It's a basic thing. But notice this. Let's get through this nonsense. More lies. He's not even showing a real review.
This is gay.
I thought he was going to talk about the black box. I thought he was about to talk about the black box. I guess not. Okay. Fair enough.
but if you look closer, it belongs to one of the most controversial people on
London with a t-shirt saying Jesus is gay. Or got to the end of the street.
Andrew's house.
Okay, so this is a true video, and this is a great video, and I have the link for it in case you guys want to watch it. I'll just drop it in the live stream. This is the actual video of when I pulled up at Tate's house in Romania. There's the link. It's in the live chat. I'll try to remember to put in the description of the video or possibly in the comments below. This is one of the most genius things I've done in terms of marketing and PR. I found it to be very funny. So just to give you guys a little bit of context on it, number one, I was already in Romania. I was in Bucharest with my assistant, my European team. You guys might be aware. I actually used to do a business in Latvia that I no longer do because Donald Trump's tariffs ruined the business. This is how silly his policies have been. It's really hurt American business and American workers. Just terrible policies. But anyways, I have a number of business things that I do in Europe, primarily in Central and Eastern Europe. So I was there checking on a couple things. One of my team members from Latvia came over with me. We're in Romania. I had a chick in Iași. Iași is the second largest city in Romania. Obviously, you're generally not going to fly directly into Iași because it's a small town or smaller town with a smaller airport. So we fly from Riga, Latvia into Bucharest. And this is the time that the Andrew Tate case was going on. And mind you, for those of you who listen to my music, and I advise you to check it out if you don't already, check out The Saint and the Sinner on Spotify or anywhere you stream music, Apple Music, Spotify. If you listen to my albums, you'll hear a lot of things, a lot of game you might pick up. There's one song you should listen to called Petty Hustlers. And if you listen to the song, you'll see I mentioned something almost in a prophetic way before the public knew about it. Yes. In fact, I want to play it, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. Let me see. Yeah, let me play it for you guys. And this song came out before Andrew Tate had any of his troubles with the law. Let me play the song for you real quick, and check your boy out on Spotify. So let me see. Okay, just listen to these bars real quick. And this was before Andrew Tate had any of his problems with the law in Romania. This is for anyone knew him for, being a trafficker before he got accused at all.
Good actors, you don't know money launderers, kidnappers, and sex traffickers. You ain't a hustler, be you. You ain't never kicked it with Romanians trafficking chicks through the EU.
We'll play that for you.
Good actors, you don't know money launderers, kidnappers, and sex traffickers. You ain't a hustler, be you. You ain't never kicked it with Romanians trafficking chicks through the EU.
Let's just say that there's a lot of things that you guys think you know that you don't know. That was before Tate caught any of his cases. Anyways, so this was the greatest PR stunt that I ever pulled right here. And it was very convenient. I was already in Romania. I was about to head over to Iași. So I told my assistant, hey, while we're in Bucharest, let's make this run real quick. I live streamed the whole thing, which basically means I finessed all of the imbeciles who like to watch videos about nothing. I finessed all of them. It was a very well-viewed video, very profitable in terms of ad rev. And every now and then I like to do those videos to balance out because most of my content is about meaty things that have impact and meaning, which are going to get low views. I have a video called The Impact of Mr. Rogers on American Society. Almost no one watches it, but it's important. So I make that, and then I use this one to finesse people because the reason it was utterly brilliant is the fact that I know if I can get people to search Marquett Burton, The Saint and the Sinner with Andrew Tate, we have a lot of crossover audience. So what it does is it links me with him in the algorithm. So it's genius guerrilla marketing. It is the most brilliant free guerrilla marketing. So imagine how smart. I make money on the front end, ad rev, then I make money on the back end because organically I'm associated with him and we share overlapping audience. So it's going to grow me as a result of that association, and I don't have to pay for that marketing. Usually if you want to grow fast or grow in the right direction, you have to pay to run ad units. That's ad unit free. That's marketing genius. That's called high level business. So that was a W. Only fools think that was an L. That was an enormous W on the front and the back end. It's like people watched the live stream and their views drove ad rev. So that actually paid me to create my marketing scheme. Most of you guys, when you do marketing, you have to pay. I got paid to do the marketing. It's really extraordinary. And that's called genius. And anyways, for those of you who would like to watch it, I will link it below. So he's correct. This is true. This is absolutely real. This is, in fact, the first real thing that he's mentioned. And you can see the difference. Here's the difference. He's showing evidence. It's true. Like, this is a fact. This really happened. That's actually me. And he's showing evidence. Now, one thing you might ask yourself is, well, Marquett, if you're such a bad guy and you just pulled up to this poor guy's house uninvited, how did you know where it is? You don't live in Romania. You don't live in Bucharest. How'd you know where his house is? How'd you get there so easily and straightforward, like you know exactly where it is? I listened to your song, Petty Hustlers. You referenced something prophetically that came to be public knowledge. How did you know that?
Yes.
Someone is coming, by the way. There's coming. People are coming.
Now, many of you might wonder what Burton was doing outside Tate's house. A person who was banned from YouTube for publishing belongs to that man. That's his. Behind Burton meeting Andrew Tate was this.
Women are terrible at selecting mates, and it's primarily because women.
Wait, what? I don't. This boy is trying to weave some of the craziest lies together. Did he just go from an interview? Did he just go from me standing outside of Tate's house in Bucharest, Romania, to an interview with a bald black man named Willie D? Like, that didn't even make any sense.
Women are narcissists.
Did you say God gave women intuition?
Yes, and women do nothing but suppress it.
Women don't have any intuition.
What do you mean women don't have any intuition?
All of a sudden, Burton was storming against the value of women in the world.
I'll be so disrespectful to these fat girls, man.
Okay, so now you're trying to power. When women in general start like powerlifting, you're kind of like, but you ain't even strong like that. But this is half of a woman. Your legs don't even hang off of the Yo, that looks so awkward. That is the most disgusting angle. And I'm not saying I wouldn't take down a little woman. I would, but not this one. Shout out to Good Sir, came in with the first baller alert, came in by Venmo. He writes, tapping in late. Anytime I hear these nerds talking with nasal tone, instant BS alert. You better believe it. I appreciate you supporting in a real way. Shout out to the ballers. First baller alert today. May I also acknowledge Wayne came in by PayPal. He writes, more tuition for the time taken out to deal with these rascals. Yeah, every now and then you got to do it. Shout out to Ramon writes, if this was their best shot, they should have kept it in the chamber. A hit piece that didn't hit anything. Amazing. Peace to the Saints. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, man. And that's how you know I've been living at a high level. Shout out to Jalen. He writes, peace to the Saints. Thank you for your work. When I first started watching you years ago, I did all the research one could do to make sure you were official. Needless to say, I couldn't find anything fake about you. These people kill me with this ish. Bro, they kill me too, man. They kill me. And the lies are just extraordinary. Extraordinary. Workout bench.
He was boxing like Tate. And he was acting macho like Tate.
Because men are the leaders and they've fallen.
Now that's interesting. So I guess Andrew Tate invented boxing. I didn't know that. Andrew Tate invented boxing. You know, I grew up in LA, Westside, Denver Lane, around real damus, but I learned to act tough from a half black guy from Europe. Come on, knock it off. It's not even sensible. It's not even sensible.
Do you know why you are attracted to a man that has more money than you?
This is the same scammer and sales expert who claimed to have found a revolutionary technology.
Good question. So typically school districts will pay for this device.
I didn't say I found it. I invented it. That is way, way different. There's no finding. I invented it. That's a big difference, little buddy.
And we've actually made it very low cost. So this one device is about $40.
And after knocking at the door of Andrew Tate, he's trying to become a new version of him.
I don't want to look at these older women who have wrinkled necks or they're overweight. It's very angering and inconsiderate. It would be much more thoughtful to bring on an attractive young woman because these are some of the few things that they can do and they deserve to get paid. So move these old hags out of the way.
Be a rock. You're supposed to be the foundation of the family. They telling y'all to get out all these emotions and shit. Hold that shit in sometime. That's not a man's position. Hold that shit in.
Preach.
But what was the outcome of copying the Tate brothers?
YouTube shadow banned me, demonetized, and blocked. And
nope, telling lies again. That is not the outcome. It was me speaking against the destruction in Gaza that caused that. 100%. Everybody knows it. Everyone knows it. So again, telling lies.
Basically, it suppressed all my content. So I don't make any money on YouTube at all whatsoever.
How long has this been going on?
Surprisingly, despite all his channels getting demonetized,
and here's a funny thing. Again, he said, "Oh, Marquett, he has a business. I can't find it." What are you talking about? I'm in the news. I was all over the news. In fact, all over the news. How the Fletch app helps professors with student attendance. Don't love this photo. I remember when the photographer was taking this one, I was like, I don't know about this. This is an awkward angle. Then they go through. Boom. Come on. Please, stop it. I'm also in print magazines, in case you were wondering. You can find print articles about me. Please, the lies. No, yeah, he said he did this company. I can't find it anywhere. Word.
Burton has discovered a unique way to scam viewers.
In your psychology. Okay. He mentioned scam again. We're ready. We're ready. Hit us with the evidence. Hit us with the evidence. Demands of you that no matter what the circumstances are, you are going to perform at the high level.
Apologies of the great American civil rights activist.
Dr. Martin, and hideously that if you eat right as a selfish trait.
The ultimate objective was not debate on such controversial topics.
I have a dream.
So do we now have a white guy talking about Martin Luther King? The same white guy that compared me to the Klan earlier? Okay, this is getting weird. It's getting super weird.
But to extract money from viewers through position.
And of course, for those of you with consent and tithe,
Takes a darker turn with
Lord. And that's
say I was the Pharaoh, your wife for it.
Most importantly, the moment when he supported Osama's letter to America.
Damn, bruh. This guy is
simple.
This guy.
Number one.
He said I supported Osama, or did I read his letter? Which most Americans have never even known that there was a letter addressed to them. It was a letter addressed to you. Did your service? I'm USPS.
Us. Find that thing.
Peace to the saints.
Peace to the saints.
Now, if I ask you in one line, what kind of person Marquett Devon is?
Now, again, how can you trust somebody like this? Look at this. This is a typo here. So you have a typo. Have some pride in your work.
The answer might be difficult to cover in one line, and we took.
But the funny thing about this documentary is you didn't say one positive thing. It's like my whole life I'm just going around doing heinous things, which you have no evidence of. Very curious.
Totally agree, because at one point, he's giving a disturbing relationship advice.
Daniel writes, how do you choose when you have two good women that both go above and beyond for you? What do you mean choose? Why can't you just keep them both? Come on, bro. That's
He said disturbing, like it's somehow devious. What was disturbing about that? Bro is reaching. This man is reaching so hard. He's just struggling to find something bad, and he's swinging at the air.
Saying, Marquett, if you have a Maybach and a Rolls Royce, which one do you want to keep? I want both of them. Like, what are we talking about?
You know, that's funny, Marquett. You said you have a Maybach, and sure enough, there it is. That's $250,000 just to start the conversation. Marquett, you say you have a Rolls Royce.
Maybach and a Rolls Royce,
and there it is. Well, that's $300,000 just to start the conversation. So, did you get those for free? Like, how did you get those cars? Did you get those for free? Like, is he going to address that part? Because earlier he was like, "You're broke," which, mind you, I've never declared any. I've never said I have this amount of money. I've never done that. I would never do that. I'm just a humble spiritual teacher. But it appears that I'm sitting in the Rolls right there. That's what that appears to be, a Rolls Royce.
which one do you want to keep?
With the purple guts.
I want both of them. Like, what are we talking about here? Come on, bro. Like, don't limit yourself like
Oh, by the way, that was before AI, little buddy.
that.
And on the other hand, he's teaching how to build an app through AI.
Now, that makes perfect sense that I would teach you how to build technology, because I've been building technology for over 10 years. Over 10 years. Now, Malcolm Gladwell says that you become an expert at something after 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours. I've been doing this for over 10 years. I am qualified to teach you about building tech businesses. That's what I do. And in addition to that, I actually have a degree in teaching. And in addition to that, I also have been paid to lecture at business schools, including top ranking ones like Northwestern. Got checks for it. I've done it internationally. I've lectured at Koonguk University in South Korea. I've lectured at universities in China. So of the people who are teaching courses on YouTube, I am probably one of the most qualified. So why wouldn't I teach and get paid? I was teaching and getting paid for it before YouTube. It makes perfect sense, actually.
AI.
Just think about how bizarre this is. He already showed you that I've been in the tech business. He already showed you that I've received awards for being in the tech business. And now he's saying, why are you teaching about the tech business? Is this not bizarre to anybody else? This is very strange to me. I'm like, this is very strange. Shout out to Kristen. He writes, do you ever upload the video of Abe Lincoln not caring about black people? Highly anticipated for us, not here for the just for the entertainment portion. Are you talking about a video that I already made, or a live session that I was talking about doing on the civil war and the causes for it? Shout out to the bowlers. Shout out to Kyle, came in with the second bowler alert. He writes, the ultimate goal of the liar is not to continue lying, but to attempt to make the lies true. That part. And it's that repetition piece. Shout out to Kyle. I appreciate you. 100% agree.
How to profit in stock market with his stock picks. How to learn.
I don't have a course on how to profit in the stock market. That's completely untrue. This is not a course. This is not a course. This is a post from my community tab. This guy's lying. Yeah, if you look at on the left side, it reads, quote, if you followed my stock picks, this particular security is up 372%. Join peaceofthesaints.com. That's not a course. That's me saying, if you've been following my stock picks, this security is multiplied your profit 3 times. That's when I sold it. I was giving you a heads up. You might want to sell it. Buy low, sell high. Nigga is high. Sell it. So I gotta plug in my computer. But this is the kind of utter nonsense. He's lying. He's suggesting that I'm selling a course on stock, which I would not, because I've always said, and I've said it so many times, I'm sure there's probably somebody in the the comments that could actually predict what I'm about to say. I've always said you don't use stock to build wealth. I don't use stock to build wealth. I use stock to store wealth. I'm not big into stock for building wealth. I'm big into product-based business. And I've been consistent with that at 100%, never changed up one time. 100% of the time. I say I use stock to store wealth. I use product-based business to build wealth. And I don't have any course on making money in the stock market. Sorry. He's lying here.
Learn AI web development course in 10 minutes from him.
Wait, what?
How to learn AI web development course in 10 minutes.
Damn, bro, lying hard. Look at this. He said that I have a course on how to learn AI web development in 10 minutes. What are you talking about? We're like 13 sessions in. The first freaking session was 7 hours. The second session was 5 hours straight. First lesson, 7 hours straight. Second lesson, 5 hours straight. And there are people who are watching right now who are a part of my AI course, which is still ongoing, enormous value. You got your money's worth 10 times over if you calculate the number of hours we've done the course. And it's not a lecture, we're doing it together. And if you buy the course now, there's still more sessions where we're going to do it together. And you get all the past sessions. But listen to the lie here. Check this out. Check this out. Look at the lie. He said that I teach you AI in 10 minutes. No, doofus. He lied on purpose. It reads starting in 10 minutes. Which is to say that I'm about to start the course in 10 minutes. It's going to go live because it's a synchronous course. We're going to do it together with each other at the same time. So why are you lying and claiming that I teach it in 10 minutes when in fact the live session was starting in 10 minutes and that was probably a 5-hour session? Damn, you lying something serious, man. It literally states before our eyes that it starts in 10 minutes. I'm experiencing some challenges with the tech, mind you. You can see it right here. Starting in 10 minutes. And I'm going to rewind it so you can hear him lie.
Doc Picks. How to learn AI web development course
That's
in 10 minutes. from
Madness.
him.
Madness. Utter
How to create a
lies.
product.
Right? Young lady right here writes, literally it states starting in 10 minutes. Boy, they go to any length to lie.
Product-based business, $500. An entire
Oh, and trip
website
off of this
dedicated-
too. They're showing a product right there. One of the saints sold that product. And here's the kicker. That's my logo. I designed the product. I set up the manufacturer. Then I handed all that off to one of the saints. He made thousands of dollars. If I recall correctly, I want to say that he had at minimum to be in the 4-figure range. Wait, I'm sorry, 4 figures. Thank you. Yeah, 4-figure. Yeah, he had to be at minimum in the 4-figure range in terms of profits. Minimum. The things that I do work. Those watches are sold out. And the money went to someone just like you. That's why I teach my product-based business course. And I put your products up on my website under my brands and I let you make the money. Nobody shows your love like that. So yeah, it's true, 100%. I teach product-based business. This very product is sold out.
Product-based business with $500. An entire website dedicated to paid courses.
These are not
by him.
courses. These are memberships, right? So one that says class membership, that's for a class. The other one says professional, that's a content membership. The other one says entrepreneur, that's for consultations if you want monthly consultations. And the other one says student, it's a content membership. And I encourage you all, if you would like to join, I encourage you to go to peacetothesaints.com, our brand new website that we have optimized for you. Young lady writes, it's almost as though the narrator doesn't have a good grasp of English. I wish that what it was, but in actual fact, he's just lying, and he's lying so hard that it would appear that way. And that's the sad part. But all they have is lies. It says that one lie alone debunks the entire video. This video has been debunked about 10, 20 times. Like, he hasn't had one claim on here that has stood up against evidence.
Least his quest for a city where he could create his cult and enslave followers.
What I need is a strong albino to work the fields.
And again, this is from Burton Plantation, which is a fine piece of art that I created that you guys can check out. Burton Plantation, here it is. You just simply type in, let me enlarge that for you. You simply type in Burton Plantation TV show episode 3. The third one is on the Willie Lynch letter. Oh, this one is absolutely brilliant. You're going to enjoy it. Phenomenal acting. I spent even more money on the actors. So I'll give you guys just a very quick taste of it.
Ben, get out of here, boy! Take off your clothes. Take your clothes off.
You don't want to follow the natural place God put you in. Go and take your clothes off, boy. Hagar, go and find me a good tree.
What kind of tree, Master? A slim and sturdy one for him to hold on to?
You go and find me a good tree for him to hang from.
Okay, exciting! I'll go get a picnic prepared.
Dad, I don't think we need to do this.
I found a tree.
Yeah, you guys gonna have to check that out when you guys get some time. Do check that out when you get some time. I think you'll enjoy it very much. Anyways, back to this scamming liar.
Maybe this incident could help you decide what kind of person he is.
If I tell you to shut up, I'll just look you in your.
Now, here's the crazy thing too: is bro is trying his best to assassinate character. This is me at the Wynn in Las Vegas. Now, mind you, before I went there recording, I reached out to my VIP host because I'm a black card member there, which is their highest level, and you get special perks and privileges. So you're assigned a single individual who is responsible for making sure that they can get you to the property frequently and make sure that when you get there, everything that you could ever want is taken care of. So I called up my host and I said, hey, I want to come to the property this day, but I want to actually shoot some content if you don't mind. She says, what kind of content are you thinking? I'm saying, I want to do this and this and go here and there. And she's like, yeah, absolutely. As long as the gaming tables are not filmed, no problem. I'm going to go ahead and write down what you told me. And I'm going to send this over right now to our security and marketing team. And you will have no problems at all. Consider this done. And so she set that up and we're good to go. This guy apparently didn't get the memo, which is fine, but they've had facial recognition and AI tech in casinos for some time. And what'll happen is pretty much as soon as you come on property, if you're a threat, if you're a black card member, you're automatically flagged to security. You're flagged to like the powers that be. They know if you're a threat, they know you're on property. They're going to escort you out before you can really even make it in there. If you're a black card member, they will come and greet you. Hey, Mr. Burton, how you doing? It's nice to see you. How's so-and-so? How's this or that? Whether it's your host or any host that's on duty, because they have a bunch of notes on you. Even if you're walking to the valet, they're using the facial recognition tech and they'll have your car already pulled up. So this was like a lapse, but I know he knew who I was because they have all the data. And so he basically shows up and walks over to the cameraman, gets at the cameraman's stupid foul when it's like, bro, like you don't need to talk to the camera guy like that. Don't treat him like trash. So yes, now I'm gonna treat you like trash if you think you can walk up to random people and get at them crazy. Nah, it ain't gonna go down like that. And that's how I am. I don't like bullies. I don't like seeing people trying to impose their weight on somebody. That's the same thing on the Whatever podcast. That girl that I embarrassed, the backstory you guys didn't know about. There's an 18-year-old young man who preps everyone before the show starts. And he says, hey, this is how to represent yourself best. Make sure you turn off your phones. Don't look into the cameras. Make sure you track the speaker. And there's a girl just disrespecting him while he was giving his introduction. And I was like, okay, yeah, you want to get at Brody foul? I'm going to get at you foul. And same thing with this dweeb right here.
Face and say, Matt,
he is.
If I tell you to shut up, I'll just lick you.
You see how he cut it like straight to when I'm getting at bro foul, but he didn't give you the full video. You see the manipulation? Extraordinary.
In your face and say, Matthew Dubenmeyer?
Yes, sir.
German? I'll say, Matthew Dubenmeyer, shut up. I don't have to be passive aggressive.
It happened when this innocent hotel manager tried to stop.
He called bro innocent, this innocent hotel manager. You see the propaganda? He's trying to position in your mind that this guy is innocent. He's a good guy. He's just a victim. Extraordinary.
Burton from recording inside the casino.
Wait, did he try to stop Burton? No, he didn't approach me. He approached the cameraman, which is a young white man. And so he thought like, okay, I can go and be rude to this guy. He's young. He's nobody. I'm going to go be rude to him. Nah, it ain't going to go like that, partner.
This innocent hotel manager tried to stop Burton from recording inside the casino.
Wait, are you going with me? Does he mind? Does he mind?
And in response, Burton said this.
Matthew, don't.
Oh, he still cut. He cut and didn't show anything that Matthew said. So you don't know why I'm saying what I said. Why didn't you show what Matthew said? That's kind of weird. Bro doing some insane propaganda here.
Create a problem for yourself because you can't create a problem for me. There's no problem you can create for me.
There's no problem.
But there's an infinite number of problems I can create for you. I didn't tell you.
Okay, now notice all of a sudden Matthew acting right. You heard Matthew. I said, don't think you can create a problem for me because you can't. And then Matthew says, quote, there is no problem. Now, if I was doing something that was wrong, then for sure he wouldn't be saying there is no problem. Maybe Matthew might have gotten the word from upstairs in his earpiece, like, hey, leave this guy alone. Let him do what he's doing. Also, if you've ever been to the Wynn Las Vegas, and this is actually consistent across their properties, I've been to the Wynn in Boston. I've been to the Wynn in Macau, which is basically China. And the Wynn is very consistent with the quality of their customer service for VIPs. In fact, my stay at the Wynn in China was set up by my stay at the Wynn in Las Vegas. My VIP host called over to Macau and said, hey, I got a guy coming in, roll out the red carpet, make sure you pick him up in the limo, assign him a VIP host, give him everything he asked for. They did exactly that. But one thing you should know is because they have a lot of high rollers in the Wynn in particular, and that's no matter where you go in the world, and it's a Wynn, they have a ton of security. So the security wears purple blazers or like they're either purple or burgundy blazers. And when they show up, it's like 5 of them. You never will see just one of them show up for an issue. Like 5 of them are going to show up. So this couldn't have been a problem because like, well, where's the security? And if it was a problem, why is he telling me there is not a problem when I'm getting at him foul? Well, the reason I'm getting at him foul is not because there was a problem. It's because he tried to create one with the young white man who was filming, and he tried to dominate that young man and disrespect him because of his age and his lack of status. And I'm not having it. I'm absolutely not having it.
Matthew, don't create a problem for yourself because you can't create a problem for me. There's no problem you can create for me.
There's no problem.
But there's an infinite number of problems I can create for you. I didn't tell you to shut up. I am not a passive aggressive man.
What was this?
I'm not
Before hearing me speak, I saw so many brainless blacks in the chat.
Yeah, what's up with it? Do it because I love it and I
Just imagine, and then they put their bad music on here. Just imagine, you're showing me looking gorgeous. You heard me? They showed me looking gorgeous in all my splendor. Silk on silk, custom, accepting an award in front of dignitaries. And they think I'm going to be embarrassed about that. Well, I got something to tell you, buddy. No, that's how I actually want to be remembered. And thank you. Thank you for verifying that I am, in fact, very, very famous and important. I appreciate that. I truly do appreciate that. Shout out by PayPal. Shout out to Clay. He writes, thank you for supporting the good people of the earth. I appreciate you. And shout out to Clay. Shout out to all the saints who show love and are part of this thing of ours. I also acknowledge Matthew came in supporting the work, writes, peace to the saints. Appreciate you. May I also acknowledge Darren came in supporting using the Stripe link. Fantastic. All caught up. I'm going to just give a little bit of time. If anybody has any questions or comments you want to send in using the information on the banner. If there are any haters, if we've been live for 3 hours, if there's a single hater in the 3 hours that would like to come on and say, hey, Marquett, you know what? There is evidence. I have it. Or I have an argument against you. Or I want to explain why I hate you. You can come on right now. I got time for you. And also, to everyone who's watching, please know that these people are all phony. We've been live for 3 hours, yet they're going to show up in the comments and claim like and act like they weren't watching for all 3 hours. They've been watching the whole 3 hours. They're going to try to act like they weren't watching. Act like they don't know that they're lying. They know they're lying. They know that they're lying. Their goal is not to spread the truth. It's to spread falsehood. And I told you guys earlier, there was a black girl from the UK who had saw a hit piece. And now, mind you, she's a cleaner. She cleans for a living. I don't necessarily expect her to be the brightest star in the sky. But the propaganda clearly affected her. And, it's really unfortunate. But that's really the only demographic it's going to affect are the people who are not the sharpest. And the goal of these propagandists is to persuade those people, because those people are not going to just do the simple thing of search. They're going to trust this liar when he says, you said you have a tech company. I couldn't find any evidence of your tech company. And then just casually while watching the documentary, I pull up 5 separate articles from 5 different parts of the world. It's like, come on, you got to stop lying. He said that I didn't have an award from the Johns Hopkins University. Then I pulled up the award from the Johns Hopkins University. So strange. He said that I scammed people on an NFT. Then I pull up the charts and it actually shows that I multiplied their money by 87 times profit. You can't comprehend the level of deceit that these folks are attempting. They said that I said I could teach you AI in 10 minutes. Well, in actual fact, I said that I'm starting the course in 10 minutes. And the course has gone for many hours, way more than 10 hours. It's enormous value. They said that I shouldn't be teaching courses when, in fact, I'm one of the few people qualified to teach and one of the few people who have been paid to teach at the high level around the world at various universities and corporations. Fortune 500 corporations pay for my training. And you can see that documented in video. Ivy League universities and graduate schools pay for my lectures. And you can see that documented photographic evidence. There is no one this real on YouTube. And for the people in the vertical that I'm in, there's no one as accomplished, not one single person. You might talk of more clout. You might even talk of more money. And I've never disclosed what I do or don't have, but no one is as accomplished, not a single person, not even close. Anyways, ladies and saints, I appreciate those of you who support me. I appreciate those of you who protect me. I appreciate those of you who ride with me. There is no doubt a reason that they're trying to get me out of the way. Shout out to Mr. Gardner. He writes, I have evidence that Mr. Burton is a great man. Peace of saints. I appreciate you. Shout out to the real ones. Shout out to all my leaders who make this thing possible. Let us end this with our tradition, the Creed of the Assassin. Repeat after me with full conviction. The Creed of the Assassin. I'm going to be who I truly am because I am remarkable. And I'm going to strive every moment to show the greatest part of who I am. Until next time, peace to the saints.